The Yankees pregame show on Yes is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com.
We always love covering home openers, but if we go back to 1996, it was the Snopener. Snow on opening day, Jack, and you were covering that game for the New York Times.
Andy Pettitte pitched into the 7th inning. You had a guy show up in a Santa Claus costume, which was more than appropriate. Why did they play? The weather was supposed to be worse the next day. Wade Boggs said it was the worst conditions he had ever played in. I remember Mariano Duncan was in the batter's box. He kept jumping out of the batter's box because the snow was in his eye. Darryl Cousins behind the plate, the umpire, a red short sleeve shirt. I will never forget it. And Adam, I don't think you'll ever forget that game either.
No, I was in the building for that one. We toughed it out. The Yankees gave us a voucher for a game later in the season. That turned out to be Doc Gooden's no-hitter, so double whammy there. Pretty good.
That worked out well. And as far as cold goes for you, you just wanted no part of it, right? Because you've had some cold home openers.
Yeah,
too.
no, it's tough. It's tough. Remember back in the day, you rub baby oil on you, and they used to say that would keep you warm. For me, I tried it one time. It just was real sticky, a bad situation. Couldn't hit my hands. I didn't know what to do. It was just a bad day. But anytime in the cold or snow, it's going to be a tough day.
Well, time to hear from some guys who've been through all of this as well. Michael Kay, David Cone, Joe Girardi have the call at today's game. Let's get it up to the booth.
Well, thanks a lot, Bob. I'm sitting here with two guys that were part of that 1996 team, David Cone, obviously, and Joe Girardi. And, Joe, you caught Andy Pettitte on that very snowy day. What do you remember about that day?
How cold it was and all the snowflakes that were coming down. And we had started the year off in Cleveland. It snowed there. Then we went to Texas. We got snowed out. And I'm like, is it ever going to stop snowing here?
Was it hard to call a game in the snow like that?
No, I think it's much harder on the hitters. The hitters don't want to hit. They don't want to get jammed by Andy's cutter. So it was pretty easy, actually.
Now, David, you didn't play in that game, but I'm sure you have an opening day memory as well.
Well, I do. It was 1987 with the New York Mets, and it was in Montreal, the Montreal Expos. Montreal had a team one a long time ago. So, but yes, I pitched in relief in that game, and Darryl Strawberry hit a home run off the roof, off the ring, the O-ring at the top of the stadium. Nobody ever seen anything like it. It was so exciting. My first opening day. It was the Mets. They were coming off of the '86 World Series championship. It was the wildest group I've ever been around. I was a nice, quiet kid before I went there.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Anyway, the Yankees had a great opening road trip. They were 5-1. They took all 3 in San Francisco. They took 2 out of 3 in Seattle, and that's exactly what you want to do. But the thing that stands out about this team, they're still not clicking offensively. But, Joe, their rotation is really something special.
Well, I commented in spring training. I thought the rotation threw very well in spring training, and it's been even better. 33 2/3 innings. They've only given up 17 hits, 6 walks. They have an ERA of .53. They've been completely dominant with hard stuff, change-ups, breaking balls. Will Warren's pitched well. Weathers has thrown extremely well. I thought he had a really good game in Seattle. And Max Fried has been brilliant. And you see Weathers with the great breaking ball there. They're different looks, and that's what makes it so hard on hitters.
All right, the guy who's getting the start today is Will Warren, 4 1/3 in the first game for him, and he allowed 1 run. And Will Warren, made every start last year in his rookie year. He wasn't supposed to be up last year. It was out of necessity with the injuries. This guy looks like he's really solidified his spot.
Well, yeah, he's so durable, right? I mean, don't see so many young pitchers like that can come up and give you 30-plus starts, or they're around that and pitch innings and post up every time. And he's getting better. His velo is up this year. He's moved on the rubber to the right side of the mound, and that kind of helps him free him up. He seems to be letting it go, getting better extension. The key for Will Warren is his secondary offerings getting better and better command.
The rotation has been so great, it's been able to absorb an offense that still isn't clicking. I mean, when Aaron Judge is struggling the way he is, and you're still 5-1, you sign up for that. But there are guys that are doing quite well. In the last game in Seattle, they rested Giancarlo Stanton, and really, you don't want to rest him that much because he had multiple hits in all 5 games he started. This guy looks locked in.
Well, he does, without a doubt. And when you think about it, people talk about early signs in a season. Do you see something brewing? Certainly, Giancarlo showing up in such good shape and ready to go. He's moving better. He looks good. It looks like this is sustainable. But also, when you sit him down and Goldschmidt goes right in and hits a 3-run home run, to me, that really says a lot about the makeup of this team. This team's deeper this year. Keeping this guy healthy is a big key.
Now, one of the guys that really has gotten off to a great start is Ben Rice. Now, Ben Rice had a good year last year, but all we kept kept hearing was, look under the hood. He actually had a better year than the numbers indicate. Now the numbers are actually indicating he's hitting quite well, Joe.
Yeah, because last year he was in top 10 in hard hit balls and exit velocity. And this year, 10 of his 14 balls that he put in play have been over 95 plus. He has 5 RBIs in 5 games. He swung the bat extremely well, and we know he knows the strike zone. And look, he's producing in parks that aren't easy to score runs when you start talking about San Francisco and Seattle, and he's off to a great start.
Now, they have a tough customer against the Marlins, who actually beat up on teams they're supposed to beat up. They come in at 5-1, and Aori Perez is really an outstanding starter. He's had some problems, obviously, injury-wise in his career, but this kid throws hard, David.
Yeah, he's got a dynamic arm, high-octane fastball in the upper 90s, a real wipeout slider as well. One of the keys, if you're facing this guy, is try to get his pitch count up. That's the one level where he's kind of struggled at times, where you can get him out of the game a little bit earlier, because he does throw a lot of different pitches, but he's hard to hit with that kind of stuff.
All right, so we're ready in the booth. Obviously, you guys having a great time down on the field. We'll be back to call the game, Yankees against the Marlins, Bob.
Michael, thank you for that. Gentlemen, as well, look forward to hearing from you when we come back. More of the opening day ceremonies. What an opening day it was in 2023. Aaron Judge, freshly minted as the latest captain of the Yankees, goes deep off Logan Webb of the Giants.
I think it's more like the attention to detail and level of conversation and focus from day one in spring training has been awesome with these guys. Like, you know, every fundamental we've done, we've met on it and like flushed it out, and, you know, and there's been an intensity to everything they've done and a focus on every little detail. And they're driving a lot of that. And it's really good to see, because that's when at its best, you know, guys and your peers are constantly having conversations, holding one another accountable. So I just think it's a very hungry, focused group. That's how I would describe it, and those guys are driving that.
Well, 6 games in, the Yankees have been on point in terms of every facet of the game so far, starting off 5-1. Will Warren taking the ball for the second time, but taking the ball in the home opener today. And he talked to Meredith Marakovitz about what that means to him.
It's going to be loud. It's going to be Yankee baseball for sure. Fans are going to be crazy, and you know, we're going to feed off that and, you know, hopefully go out there and get a win.
How do you kind of harness those emotions when the crowd is into it this early in the season?
Yeah, I think you don't elevate yourself for the game's going to elevate you. And so you feed off that crowd and that environment and, you know, help it fuel you while you're out there.
Do you feel like that at times can bring out the best of you when you have that extra energy behind you?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I feel like you can you know, maybe throw 100 when you got those guys screaming for you out there. But no, I think it's about having confidence, and the fans will fuel you like that sometimes.
Hey, we'll see after the game if I'm talking to you about hitting triple digits, right? When you look back at your first start, 4 1/3 allowed 1 run on 5 hits. What did you take away from that, and what adjustments are you making heading into the Marlins start?
Yeah, I think overall, you know, we attacked. Command wasn't there like we really wanted to. So, you know, we work on that this week, trusting ourselves over the plate, allowing the defense to play behind us, and heading towards this one, just getting over the plate and attacking aggressively and trusting our stuff.
Do you think the aggressive attacking and perhaps better command will help you be a bit more efficient out there as well? Because they made you work last start.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ramos saw 17 pitches and 2 at-bats. He's fighting his butt off up there, and I'm just trying to get him to swing and miss or put something in play. So I think that one comes down to command. If I can hit my spot where he's got a hole up there, then, you know, maybe we cut that into 8 or 9 pitches. And so that's, you know, kind of what we worked on this week.
And I saw you out there talking to Preston Claiborne. What specifically were you guys tinkering with out there today?
Yeah, just making sure everything's fine-tuned. Fastball's got the right orientation, change-up, grip is looking good, and then obviously just like hammering home that the sweeper is going to be a strike pitch, not always a swing and miss pitch.
One thing before I let you go, you mentioned the defense. What have you thought of the team defense so far to start the season here?
Oh my gosh, we love double plays, don't we? No, it's been great. It's been fantastic. as a pitcher, it's always nice to go up there and know that, you know, if you give up weak contact or they put the ball in play, that, you know, there's a good chance it's going to be an out.
Well, Will Warren getting ready, and Adam, I do have to ask, as a pitcher, is it easy to harness those emotions knowing it's the home opener and you're out there ready to go?
It's not easy because your adrenaline's going to be on a million, but at the end of the day, like he said, let the game elevate you. Don't try to get ahead of that. Let it happen naturally, and you'll be all right.
Got you for a couple more minutes before we get to the opening ceremonies on opening day. Jack, let's start with you. Key to the game.
Bob, my key is going to be called the bullpen brigade. Will Warren wants to pitch deeper into this game, and the Yankees are hopeful that he will. But at some point, you're going to see those arms come out of the bullpen. Remember, we mentioned earlier in the show, do not expect to see Bednar closing this game. It will most likely be Doval, but you're also going to see Boone and Blake pursuing those matchups.
Yeah, mine is meeting the heat. You know, you got Yuri Perez on the mound today. He's going to get ahead with a lot of fastballs. I'd like to see the Yankees kind of hunt those fastballs in the zone and do damage.
I'm going to stick with pitching here. Will Warren, find a way to get to 5 innings. I think that's been his little bugaboo a little bit for the last couple years. Get to 5 and know that bullpen will do just fine.
And Jack, see if they can have those good at-bats. They had them in some of the games, maybe not all of them, but really smart at-bats.
Yeah, Perez, we should not underestimate how good a pitcher this guy is. So you're right, Bob. If they could get his pitch count up, perhaps get him out of that game. Like the Yankees, the Marlins are off to a 5-1 start, so try and lay as many heavy at-bats as you can on Perez. And if you get some traffic, do something with it.
And you kind of mentioned Aaron Judge. You think he's going to jump one out of here today?
Yeah, I think it's time. It's why I saw him in the locker room there. He looked focused. He looked happy. He doesn't look down on himself, and I think that's the biggest part of him. He understands who he is, and once he gets out of this, Adam, it's going to be fun to watch.
He tends to really step up in these situations. You know, the good vibes are all here today. Everybody's here to support the Yankees, get the season off on the right foot. Would not be surprised to see the big fella leave the yard.
Yeah, Jack, they came from pretty much 2 pitchers' parks, so you think that short porch might see some activity.
I guess we're going to make it 3 out of 3 because I predicted off-air home run. I'm just not following my colleagues here, but yeah, I think we might see Judge make all of these home opening fans very happy today.
You did it off-air. Did you just do it on air?
Oh, of course I did it on air. 3 for 3. Do you want to make it 4 for 4?
Sure, why not? Absolutely. Well, that's it for us. Thanks for joining us on the pregame show. Let's get it upstairs for the ceremonies and public address announcer Paul Olben.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Yankee Stadium. On opening day 2026. Please direct your attention to the third base line as we welcome today's opponent, the Miami Marlins. The Marlins support staff. Assistant hitting coaches, number 82, Corbin Day, and number 70, Chris Hess. The infield coach, number 48, Blake Butler. The first base coach, number 81, Greg Driver. The third base coach, number 45, Blake Raleigh. Coordinator, number 72, Aaron Leinhut. And the Major League analyst, Bryson Nakamura. In the bullpen, the pitching coach, Daniel Moscos. The assistant pitching coach, Bob Marcello. The bullpen coach, Brandon Mann. Bullpen catchers, Tanner Garrison and Justin Hahn. Now for the Marlins non-starters. Number 8, Javier Zanoja. Number 13, Roberto Hernandez. Number 15, Austin Slater. Number 19, Leo Jimenez. Number 22, Sandy Alcantara. Number 23, Max Meyer. Number 26, Jansen Jung. Number 29, Fairbanks. Number 30, Tyler Phillips. Number 33, Chris Paddock. Number 37, Anthony Linder. Number 43, Andrew Nardi. Number 47, John King. Number 49, Michael Peterson. Number 53, Calvin O'Shea. And number 84, Lake Bacher. And now, the Miami starting lineup. First, the manager, number 86, Clayton McCullough. Leading off in center field, number 87, Jacob Marcy. Batting second, the second baseman, number 9, Xavier Edwards. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 50, Agustin Ramirez. Batting fourth in the bullpen, the catcher, number 34, Liam Hicks. Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 6, Otto Lopez. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 17, Owen Casey. Batting seventh at first base, number 1, Connor Norby. Batting eighth in left field, number 18, Griffin Honine. And batting ninth at third base, number 21, Graham Foley. The Marlins starting pitcher, number 39, Yuri Perez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the first base line as we welcome 27-time world champion, the New York Yankees. First, the Yankees support staff. Batting fifth, the Yankees' designated hitter, number 27, Giancarlo Stanton. Number 27. Your 2026 New York Yankees. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention now to center field. In the great tradition of opening day, the New York Yankees celebrate and salute their fans. During the singing of today's national anthem, a giant American flag will be unfurled by members of our Yankees ticket family, season ticket and plan holders who have a long history with the Yankees with seats throughout the stadium. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your caps, and direct your attention to the area behind second base. Presenting this afternoon's colors are the United States Military Academy Color Guard. Now, please direct your attention to the microphone behind home plate. Our guest is a Tony Award-winning actress who can be seen on TV and Marvel's Daredevil, Born Again on Disney+, and 8 times a week at the West Side Theater in Little Shop of Horrors. Please welcome a lifelong Yankees fan, Nikki M. James. She will now sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
so hot up in this. Still 1,000 degrees, cold like 30, some below. Make a drop down on the knees. Sunday pop out riding spokes. Friday riding up exposed. You too black for all that white. Make her feel like Billie Jean. On it, it's on it, it's I took all the baddies out of 2-4 KO, get it. Rolling, 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 11, ocean, coral, potion, slam, motion, thick, motion. Took a shawty from Bisbane, put her on Biscayne. At the show, I had some things, a cactus spider thing, like a Rockefeller chain. She rocking all my dames. I've been with them for 2 weeks, and still ain't got no names. They been cutting up them pieces, just trying to feel Cobain. All the whips is wrapped like Reese's, the pipe drip chocolate stains. Baby on my wife for sure. Whip it like it's not a ticket for sure. Thunderstorm in the night for sure. Come on right and get right for sure. Let's go. Hop in the new truck, no big boy, ride with you.
Bob Lorenz back with you as the opening day ceremonies continue. We are getting closer to first pitch. Yankees against the Marlins. It'll be Michael Kay, David Cone, and Joe Girardi with the call.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
When you're from New York City, you live in the dream. Every day, millions of people worldwide fantasize about visiting the very place where you grew up. And nobody represents the spirit of your home like the Yankees.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Yankee Stadium.
More than 1,800 players have worn their uniform, all united by traits they share with the residents of the Bronx. The will to work hard, the strength to grind through tough times, commitment and dedication. Wearing the interlocking New York is a privilege. Those who've grown into legends while doing so have understood what that exactly means. Fans take on their own mission, push their heroes towards glory. The calendar keeps turning, one generation gives way to the next, but the mutual love between the glorious borough and its icons is a relationship built to last.
Let's do it on opening day in the Bronx.
Yankee Stadium has opened once again. It's time to get back into that pinstripe state of mind.
For the 18th home opener on this side of 161st and River Avenue, the Yankees coming back from a West Coast swing where they were quite successful. All the pomp and circumstance of the home opener, and the captain introduced to the huge crowd and got a big ovation. All things are right in the world as the Yankees begin their home season here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. And it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents opening week, brought to you by Vanguard, discipline that delivers. And today it's the New York Yankees against the Miami Marlins in the first game of a 3-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. That's the guy that'll throw the first pitch. It's his second start of the year, Will Warren. Second-year right-hander, and he'll try to keep the line moving for a rotation that has been absolutely unbelievable. The schedule maker said, "Go west, young man." The Yankees listened and came back with a 5-1 record. All things good in the Bronx. We'll come back, moving close to first pitch on Yes. The Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Live On NY. Life, pass it on. By Tunnel to Towers, donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to t2t.org. And by Hyundai, test drive a new Hyundai today, only at your local Hyundai dealer. Moving closer to first pitch of today's home opener. And it's time to play FanDuel's Daily Dingle for free every day for a chance at a profit boost if your selected player hits a home run. And here are the featured home run odds for today's player. How about Aaron Judge, plus 190? And then Trent Grisham would be the second choice. When we come back, lineups, first pitch, baseball. It's the Yankees and the Marlins next, right here on Yes. Welcome back to the Bronx for the home opener at Yankee Stadium. Both teams come in at 5-1. As we mentioned, the Yankees with an excellent road trip to open the season. They swept the Giants in 3 games, and they took 2 out of 3 against the Seattle Mariners. Now they start this homestand. The captain greets all of his teammates in the dugout, and the Yankees are getting ready for baseball. I'm joined today by Joe Girardi and David Cohn. And David, we were on the West Coast together, and although the hitting really didn't click, the pitching has been so great, it led them to 5-1.
Yeah, and that was kind of the question coming in. Can these guys hold down the fort until Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon got back? Well, they're not holding down the fort. They're taking over the fort so far.
Yeah, they've dominated the fort. I mean, a .53 ERA from the starters, the lowest of all time, the first 6 starts of the game from starting pitchers. So, I mean, it has been a beautiful recipe, and they've scored enough runs to go 5-1.
We've always heard the stories, David, that, you know, you want to move the line if you're a starting pitcher. If everybody else did well, you want to do even better. True?
Very true. I mean, that's how you build chemistry. That's hard to quantify, but you almost learn by osmosis. I mean, Ryan Weathers is going to learn just by watching Max Fried. So those dividends are going to pay off throughout the whole season. This is a good mix. They pull for each other. They help each other. Garrett Cole's like a second pitching coach. So's Max Fried. It's a great situation down there for young pitchers.
30 years ago, the home opener, you were behind the plate catching Andy Pettit, and you're trying to catch the baseball through the snowflakes today. Not sunny, the lights are on, but certainly no snow.
No, it's a beautiful day. I mean, it's going to be 60 degrees out here today, and I don't think you can ask for any more if you're on the East Coast for a home opener. And players love this weather because you don't get as fatigued and you feel fresh.
All right, the New York Yankees take the field. Will Warren will climb atop the rubber and begin his warm-up tosses as well. Judge heads out to right field, where he is greeted by the bleacher creatures. The reigning MVP, 2 MVPs in a row, 3 in his, up to this point, illustrious career. Well, he even gives a little bit of a high five to the cameraman out there with him. Let's take a look at the Marlins starting lineup. It's Marcy, Edwards, and Ramirez at the top of the order. Liam Hicks has gotten off to a great start. The catcher will clean up. And Otto Lopez, the shortstop, bats 5th. Batting 6th and playing right field, it's Owen Cassie. Norby, Conine, and Paulie, they round out the 9-man lineup.
You see Will Warren on the bump today in the Boogie Down Bronx. Opening day, man, what a great feeling this must be for him. Last year, 33 starts. That in and of itself speaks volumes about this young man. And let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report for Will Warren. The fastball combo is really the key. The 4-seam, 2-seam, he has command of both, uses them both exceptionally well. His velocity's up this year, a couple of ticks. It's early in the season, but something to follow and watch, and that really comes along with his off-speed stuff too. So a little crisper, and then for me, the change-up to lefties is an improving pitch. It's going to be a key for him moving forward to be able to neutralize some of these tough lefties.
Now let's see the guys behind them. The defense brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Bellinger, Grisham, and Judge left to right in the outfield. In the infield, it's McMahon, Caballero, Chisholm, and Rice. Wells is behind the plate. Stanton, who's been red hot, he is the DH. And David just could tell Will Warren is on the mound. Behind the plate is Tom Hanahan. The umpire scouting report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. So fewer low strikes, fewer outside strikes on lefty batters. First game this season behind the plate, so no challenges against him. He's considered hitter friendly. Sun's trying to peek through. The lights are on. Marcy's ready. Warren's ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. And the first pitch is a strike. We are underway. Ronald Culpa, the home plate umpire. Scott Barry at second. And Manny Gonzalez over third, joining Hanahan behind the plate.
Yeah, Marcy's a young hitter that came up August, and his first start was against Rodon last year. when the Marlins swept the Yankees down there. So he's a guy that's very patient, really understands the strike zone, and is very willing to take a walk.
Pitch up and away. Well, in that series Joe's talking about, 8 of 12 he reached safely in his plate appearances. 4 hits, 3 doubles, and 4 walks. Started off the season 3 for 22 so far. 2-2.
There's that life on that four-seamer. You see him underneath it, so it's got that carry that all pitchers want today. And then he's be able to combo it with that sinker. Ooh, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's devastating for him, that combination fastball.
But to me, the next step that he has to take is being able to put hitters away quickly. He only threw 83 pitches in 4 1/3 innings out in San Francisco. When he does that, ooh, they really got something.
The 2-2 upstairs. Marlins 5-1, started the season with series against Colorado and the White Sox, outscored them 33-18, and hit .290 as a team against those 2 pitching staffs. Time called.
Just got through the first roll call of the year. I never get tired of hearing that out there. I mean, that's where it initiated. It started here. The roll call started here. Something the players look forward to.
I always look forward to the new players, what their signal back is.
Swing and a miss. On the fastball, Marcy down on strikes.
Well, here it is, hit it. 3-2, 4-seamer, right on by. You can see, to Joe's point, it's got a little life on it. Watch him underneath it. Just a little late and a little underneath it. That's what that vertical break's all about. Sort of the life, the spin, everything about the righting action.
Here's Xavier Edwards. High drive, right field. Judge back on the track at the wall. See ya. A home run for Edwards. It's 1-0 Marlins.
Xavier Edwards only hit 3 home runs last year. They were all left-handed. He's a switch hitter. And when you face a guy like Will Warren, as hitters, you can be aggressive because you know he's coming right at you. Probably not going to be a lot of breaking balls early in the count. And he gets a fastball that's thigh high, and he right down the middle, and he's able to pull it out of Yankee Stadium. But this young man has made a lot of improvement since they've moved him from short to second. And left-handed, he's a very good hitter. Hit over 300 last year.
Ramirez swings and misses. If that seemed unusual, what you just saw, that's the first home run allowed by Yankee pitching. They kept it in the park on the road.
You can hear Roger Clemens yelling at you. The windshield wiper. That's when the catcher's glove goes to the left like that, he'd be yelling, "Get rid of that windshield wiper." It's hard to frame it that way.
Yeah, less movement is better.
Tied him up. Ramirez out of the Yankee system, came to Miami in the deal that brought Jazz Chisholm to the Yanks.
Yes, you did.
Strike 3. 2 away.
When you're pitching at Yankee Stadium, you got to adopt Catfish Hunter mentality. Solo home runs won't beat you. Keep being aggressive. He does. Little 2-seamer swing back. We talked about the fastball combo. That's devastating. That's a ball the whole way until the end when it races back to the outside corner. Yes, it did.
There's Liam Hicks, 7 for 15 to start the season. 3 home runs, 12 ribbies.
You know what's interesting about him, it reminds me of Ben Rice a little bit, and we'll see how it plays out the rest of the year, but they wanted him to get stronger and pull the ball more, and he's doing that. He pulled the ball only about 15% of the time last year, which is below league average. It's 16.5. It's like 40, and he's killing breaking balls. Absolutely. Only hitting 100 on fastballs, but killing breaking balls and pulling them into the seats.
left center. Grisham puts it away, and that'll do it. Edwards with the home run. Marlins won, and the New York Yankees coming back. Well, the Marlins with a run in the top of the first. Now it's the Yankees' turn. Take a look at their starting lineup. Trent Grisham leads off, the captain. Aaron Judge in right field bats second. Then Cody Bellinger hits third. Ben Rice at first. Giancarlo Stanton the DH. Jazz Chisholm will play second. Bottom third of the order is Austin Wells, Jose Caballero, and Ryan McMahon at third base batting ninth.
And Yuri Perez is a young flamethrower. You can see last year just 20 starts, 105 Ks and 95 in the third innings. But yeah, he's got big league stuff. And let's tell you a little bit more in our Nissan pitcher scout report. That high octane fastball is in the upper 90s. Really plays up in the zone well. That's going to be a challenge for the Yankees, is not swinging through that high fastball and the wipeout slider off of that. Good strikeout pitch. The one Achilles heel is you can push his pitch count up. If you can work him, you can maybe drive him out of the game a little earlier.
Check out the defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Conine, Marcy, and Casey left to right in the outfield. Paulie, Lopez, Edwards, and Norby third to first. Hicks behind the plate. Ramirez the DH. Perez deals.
One of the hard things to measure for me has always been deception. The hitters tell you what deception is. You were talking about his wipeout slider. I don't think it has a lot of movement, and I think it's flat. But hitters swing and miss like over 40% of the time, and I'm trying to figure it out. So I'm expecting an answer from you by the end of this day.
I got all the metrics down here. I can nerd out on you all you want.
I'm not asking you to nerd out. I want you to say if you see the same thing, and I don't know if it's because of the difference in the velocity. It's the 6.8. Like, that slider doesn't have a ton of movement.
But it's late, and it changes planes.
Changes planes? Where are we going?
Down.
Oh.
Just enough. Later and tighter sometimes can be better.
But they're not wasting any time checking. They're worried about Grissom getting on before Judge.
And they challenge, and they lose a challenge. ABS challenge by T-Mobile. So the call confirmed. It's tough when you challenge in the first inning and you lose that challenge. Now you got one to play with. 3-1. There's ball four, so Grisham works a leadoff walk. Take a look at the arsenal of Perez on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
Well, he's got a couple of different kinds of breaking balls. The slider is the main secondary pitch. He's got some other ones. We saw a sweeper in there. They throw an occasional sinker and a cutter, but it's really four-seam slider are the two predominant pitches.
And I love his changeup. I think it's devastating. I mean, hitters swing and miss at it 60% of the time. 60%. And it's a new pitch for him that he's starting to incorporate more, and he's using against righties and lefties.
Judge on the road trip, 3 for 24. 2 of the 3 left the yard.
low. When he leaves it up, it's a spinner, and that's exactly what he threw to Aaron Judge. A spinner that was probably about waist high, that didn't have a lot of side-to-side break, didn't have any downward break. And look, 2-run homer after a walk. And this guy goes 99 to 100.
And Bellinger swings and misses.
Belly's probably saying, thanks, Judge. You chapped him. First pitch means 98. Think about Yuri Perez. This young man was called up when he was 20 years old and 27 days, 2023, and then he had Tommy John in 24 and came back last year. But, I mean, he's got 100 in the tank. He's 6'8".
Bellinger, left center. And Conine collides with Marcy and holds on.
And here's what I'm talking about on Aaron Judge. They're lucky they didn't get hurt there, but it's just a slider that spins, kind of almost backs up, ends up leaving it waist high, and that's why I'm saying I don't see it, but the numbers tell you that it's a devastating pitch. And he leaves it middle in, and Aaron Judge knows exactly what to do with it. Hits it off about the front of his toe. Is the depth that he hits it, knows he has a home run, and the Yankees are up 2-1. And it's a good place to get your offense going, Yankee Stadium. I mean, the ballparks they were in are not home run hitting ballparks. San Francisco and Seattle. There's another one. Oh, man, baby. Hang it, you bang it. And I don't even think he got it all. I think that noise can be louder off his bat.
Judge had 20 home runs in the first inning last year, and that's a major league record, so this is his first in the first inning.
Can you imagine that, 20 home runs? It took me like 8 years to get 20 home runs.
Aaron Judge is that type of hitter that when you see him struggle a little bit or he misses some pitches or off to a slow start, you know somebody's going to pay eventually.
Oh, yeah.
When he gets it going, he goes on some kind of run, he starts clicking.
And I think a lot of it has to do with his front foot. If his stride is a little bit too open or he starts too open, I think he gets in trouble. But if you're a pitching staff, you got to hate that. Oh, he's cold. Oh, boy, we're coming in. Oh, boy, he's going to get even somewhere.
And this might be the swing that gets him going.
Yeah, just a beautiful swing. He stays behind the baseball, gets it in the air.
And Joe, you'll love this. I was talking to Aaron Boone about Aaron Judge the other day, and I said, what do you look for from Judge to know that he's about to lock in? And he just looked at me and smiled and said, when he walks in the door. that could be the time when he walks in the door. He knows he's about to lock in.
Yeah, I'd feel pretty good about it any day I put him in the lineup.
And Rice goes down looking.
Tony, you're talking about he can get into some long innings. That's 18 pitches already. And you're going to see this ball. He's got a little run on his fastball. It's actually inside, but it's a smidgen inside. What happened to that hitter friendly?
Well, it's also Ben Rice showing some discipline and not challenging there. First inning. Didn't want to take a chance. You know, that's really the difference. It's the discipline that the Yankees have shown.
Yeah, here's Conine and Marcy running into each other. They haven't played a lot together because Conine missed most of last year separating his shoulder, so he never played the outfield with Marcy. And they're lucky that someone didn't really get hurt there.
Yes.
Because those are two thick individuals. And you think about when you play Marlins ballpark, there's probably not a lot of noise.
Right side. Norby on the run. Can't make the play. Tough play.
Couldn't get there.
Looks like he's got his ski goggles on. Maybe he was expecting 1996 weather.
This looked like Goggins goggles, right? For Walter Goggins, the White Lotus. Yeah, those are Goggins goggles.
You got a pair of those?
I want a pair. I'll take one.
Got to be honest, David, I didn't have Goggins on my bingo card.
Goggins goggles? Yeah.
Ground ball, shortstop, Lopez. And that'll do it. But the Yankees take the lead because the captain does what, well, the captain does. 2 home runs on the road, but Yankee Stadium is home, as in home run, 2-run blast. MLB Plus is new for 2026. Stream MLB Network 24/7 and select out-of-market games every single week. Plus live radio broadcast of every game, game day 3D, big inning, and minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. Otto Lopez, 7 for 22 in the first 6 games. And he's quickly down in the count, 0-2.
How about that, Conan? That's perfect pitching. From our vantage point, he threw the sweeper that went right to left and then the two-seamer that went left to right. It's a hitter, you're 0-2 before you know it. It's not fair. You guys are too good.
Now, last year, in his rookie year, Will Warren wore number 98, and he has switched to 29, a tribute to a cousin who passed away who had worn 29 in high school.
Well, that cousin's name is Nathan Griffith. He died in a boat accident at the age of 17. Will told me that number is so special not only to him but to his entire family. Meaningful every time he puts that jersey on, and his family watching too will also be thinking of Nathan.
Pretty good Yankee pitcher has worn number 29, Hall of Famer Catfish Hunter. Rafael Soriano also wore 29 in a more recent vintage, Gio Urshela and Austin Slater. Slater is now at the Marlins.
He was in spring training with Detroit. He asked for his release, and they had an injury and showed up. So you'll see him against left-handers.
And our very own Todd Frazier also wore number 29. Today on the pregame show, just a really nice suit. Didn't have a number.
He might have had it etched in the jacket.
Maybe. Not for us to see, though. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Third strikeout for Will Warren.
You know, I think you can take a look at how good his stuff is. This Marlin team was number 1 in the fewest strikeouts. Now, I understand they played the White Sox in Colorado, but still, as a club last year, they didn't strike out. They put the ball in play, and he's done a really good job, except for the solo homer.
Here's Owen Casey. Marlins got him from the Cubs in the Edward Cabrera deal. He was 43rd on Baseball America's top 100 prospects list. He said he liked the Cubs, he said, but he thought he was blocked there. Really hard to break through on that team, he said. Well, he's got an opportunity now.
You talked about how he was traded for Edward Cabrera. I think the Marlins did a good job in this trade. Cabrera's a free agent after the year, and you look at this young man. I mean, the number 1 prospect for the Cubs, great raw power. He was also traded from the Padres to the Cubs for Yu Darvish, so he's been traded for some pretty good pitchers.
3-2. 7 for 20 to start the season. Yankees lead 2-1 on the Judge home run. Left side, McMahon. 2 outs.
Could you hear Austin Wells yelling, "He's got room, you got room"? Could you hear that? It's really a good job. I mean, as a catcher, you're taught to be sometimes the eyes when the balls are in foul territory for your infielders.
Here's Connor Norby. Norby came up as a second baseman, played a lot of third last season. This year is expected to play first for the most part. One and two.
See, by that swing, he's trying to get the ball in the air. And he's done a good job this year going the other way, even though they're played a little bit center and left as a pull, because he did pull the ball a lot last year in the air. He's been using the other field a lot so far this year.
2-2. Swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts in 2 innings for Will Warren. We go to the bottom of the second. Yankees lead this one 2-1. Welcome back to Yankee Stadium. Vanguard scoreboard 2-1. Yankees over Miami. It'll be Chisholm, Wells, and Caballero in the bottom of the second inning. And Aaron Judge, first inning home run, gave the Yankees the 2-1 lead. That's where we sit right now. Warren against Perez. Chisholm has gotten off to a slow start, 4 for 23 with 9 strikeouts. And facing his former team, the Marlins. You know, the Marlins are one of the teams in baseball. There aren't that many of them, but it seems like it might continue to add teams. They call every single pitch from the dugout. Both of their catchers are young, and they're fine without calling the pitches, but they're not going to learn to call pitches if it's called from the dugout, and that's what they do throughout the organization as well. Foul ball. And you can see what they've locked in, because their starting pitching has the highest average velocity on a fastball of any team in baseball. And they throw the fewest fastballs in baseball. They spin the ball constantly, and that's being called from the dugout.
Well, I have a perspective on that from the catcher standpoint and being on the bench standpoint. I had a totally different feel catching a pitcher than I did managing a pitcher, in the sense that I felt like I was more in tune with what he needed to do and what type of stuff he had that day than when I was on the bench. To me, it was always hard to see. And there was always a feeling like there were times I would say, I know what the right pitch is here, but he's not executing it, so I can't call it. And I'm not sure you have that same feel from the bench. And what happens when you give up a 2-run homer on a hanging breaking ball? I mean, do you look like, I ain't listening to you no more?
Now, between innings, our very own Meredith Morakovitz caught up with Garrett Cole.
Garrett, the starting rotation just continues to roll. Will Warren gives up the solo shot and locks back in. What do you think of his stuff so far this afternoon?
His fastball looks really good. He's using it to both sides of the plate, and it's been an effective pitch for him. He's been attacking the strike zone well.
Garrett, what's next for you, and how badly do you want to join this rotation when you see the way that they're pitching?
Yeah, I want a piece of it for sure. I got a bullpen coming up tomorrow, and then some hitters early next week, and we're off and running after that, hopefully.
Physically feel good?
Yeah, physically feel good.
Garrett, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Michael, we'll send it back up to you.
Well, thank you to Meredith and to Garrett giving us that time between innings. So Chisholm walks, and it's an 0-2 count on Austin Wells. Austin 3 for 16 in the early going.
So, like, what is your mindset when that happens as a pitcher?
There's so many layers to this, right, that you have to peel back and analyze. If you're calling pitches from the dugout based on probabilities of what's going to be successful, first of all, we've got espionage in today's game right there, the signals he's giving. We have the first base coach and the third base coach is in the box now because they were stealing signs or stealing the grips from the pitchers. How long before this espionage goes on when you figure out the code?
Runner goes. Throw to second. Not in time. You can run against the Marlins. Hicks only catches 10.5% of base steals.
Great jump. Off and running. Watch this jump. Wow, 4 or 5 steps.
Yeah, and you can see there's not a ton of arm strength there. The ball had a little bit of an arc to it in a sense. There are some catchers like a Jorge Posada. Man, did he have arm strength. And it was just on a straight line.
And Wells goes down. The other catcher on the Marlins, Ramirez, he threw out just 9% of base stealers last year or so. You pick your poison with either of them behind the plate. I think we'll see the Yankees run a lot this series.
Yeah, I would think so. And the one pitcher they're not going to see is Sandy Alcantara. And he gave up like 30 stolen bases last year, like 30 for 31 or something crazy. So they won't see him.
Here's Caballero.
15 for 19 off of the starter today, Perez. So, I mean, there has been success.
Runner goes. Throw to third. Another stolen base, the 4th of the season for Chisholm.
Yeah, and I didn't even think he got a great jump, but he's got great speed. He's got great explosion. And again, they don't throw well. The pitcher's somewhat, slow. And you can see him peek to left field to see if the ball went left field. Very good discipline on his part. I know he's having a hard time peeking when the helmet's over his eyes, but then he tried to look in the outfield to see where the ball was.
Infield comes in, 1-1 count. 1-2. Ryan McMahon on deck.
So how many layers are to that onion that you're peeling?
Wow, there's just a lot. I mean, if you're on the mound, you should have veto power on what pitch you want to throw because it can change inning to inning in terms of feel.
Like, I feel like he's shaking here because it took a while.
Yes.
So obviously they have permission to shake.
Do you have to look in the dugout to shake?
No, I don't.
Look at your catcher?
I don't think anyone did. Yeah, because I think, we always talk about pitchers need to have conviction. They have to believe in that pitch. But they're not going to execute it as well.
Well, there was talk that the Giants were going to call all the pitches from the dugout. Tony Vitello was a college coach. You do that in college. But they've got veteran pitchers, and they've got a really good catcher, and they talked him out of it.
Yeah, I think it's smart. I think you have to put the game in the players' hands because they're seeing it the best from their vantage point.
3-2. Ball 4. Now Caballero is a threat to go.
But in their defense, I do understand when you have young players, you may want to teach them, how to call a game or a pitcher, how to navigate through a game. But I think eventually you got to turn them loose. And speaking of turn them loose, I got to believe Caballero's going in the first 2 pitches here.
Agreed. Very, very aggressive. When you think about both Chisholm and Caballero, they're not only great base stealers, but they're daring, very aggressive, not afraid at all.
Infield backs up a bit, trying to turn the double play, but not all the way back, kind of hedging the bet. There goes Caballero. The throw to second, not nearly in time. So the Yankees in this inning, 3 for 3 stolen bases.
And you see Caballero peek in to see if he was going to throw it. He's safe, easy.
And that stolen base forces them to bring the infield in again. Now you squeeze one through. It's 2 runs. The 1-0. McMahon 1 for 15 in the early going. Last year, the Yankees scored the runner from third base with fewer than 2 outs 54% of the time. That was the 5th best in the majors. Rip foul. Yankees 11-6 at this iteration of Yankee Stadium on this side of 161st and River. This is the 18th home opener at the new ballpark. Overall, in 123 home openers, Yankees are 82, 40, and 1.
How many of those you've seen, Michael? About 40?
35 as a broadcaster, 5 as a writer.
Yeah.
And then I won a couple
as a kid. Yeah.
Count is full as Hicks fake to throw to third. That causes Jazz to dive back.
Well, you can see the Marlins are trying to keep Jazz close. Paulie's holding him on. He normally wouldn't be there with the left-handed hitter up, but he's trying to keep him close, and the catcher's doing a pickoff. There's that open lane for the catcher, so as a base runner, you have to be somewhat careful, because I still think the Yankees are going on contact here.
Works a walk, so that'll load the bases for Grisham. 3 walks in the inning for Perez, 4 in the game so far.
This is kind of right in the middle of our scouting report, was trying to push his pitch count up. It's the one area that you can kind of get to him early in the game, and right here, 45 pitches here in the 2nd inning.
Daniel Moskos, the pitching coach, comes out to talk with Perez. Imagine if one of the pitchers turns to him and said, "What are you talking to me for? You're calling the pitches."
But I don't think it's Daniel calling the pitches.
It's the assistant pitcher.
Yeah. He's saying, "Hey, look, we got you in trouble. You're on your own now."
That's Rob Marcello, who calls the pitches.
Coney, did you ever find in your career that it was much harder to pitch on the road? Because his home and road splits are really pretty far apart. His home, he's a 2.93 ERA. On the road, he's a 5.33.
A lot of pitchers feel that way. Just more comfortable at home, sleeping in your own bed.
Marlins looking for the double play, although the shortstop, Lopez, is in. And a strike.
I would like to see him swing at that slider that wasn't moving. But when you think about it, There's like a 13 or 14 mile an hour difference between his slider and his heater. It's a lot.
Yeah, he's got a big variance.
Joe, you got to explain the defensive configuration here. It's like, oh, okay, are we going to bring the infield in or not? Are we playing for the double play or not? Lopez is close to the grass. Edwards, the second baseman, is about 5 feet back. Why?
I think if they can turn two, they're going to turn two. If it's hit to Edwards or the first baseman, Norby. But if it's hit to the shortstop, he can also turn two. I was never a fan. You're either in or you're not.
Right.
Yeah. Because like Edwards backs up, and if the ball's hit to Edwards, there's a chance he's not going to be able to turn two, or he's not going to be able to get the hitter at home, the runner at home. So either scoot back or come in.
Now he's backed up a bit. Shortstop still in for the lefty swinging Grisham.
But to me, Michael, like I always used to say, is that really in? Right. Because he's a lot further away than the third or first baseman, because he's in the middle of the diamond and the bases are 90 there, and it's 126 feet from home to second. So he's a lot further back.
Bases loaded, 1 out. 3-2.
A really good job back-to-back here of laying off with some tough pitches out of the zone, forcing deep counts.
Ball 4. That forces in a run. Chisholm comes down the third baseline. He'll touch up, and the Yankees will lead 3-1. An RBI for Grisham. That's the 4th walk of the inning, the 5th of the game.
Yeah, and the Marlins are going to have to get somebody up because of the amount of pitches. He threw like 20 the first inning, and he's over 50 here. And I always thought 35-40 was the breaking point, especially with a young pitcher that's coming off of Tommy John.
Here's Aaron Judge, infield halfway. Judge with a long home run in the first inning, his 3rd of the year, a 2-run shot.
Oh, no.
That got him. Perez all over the place. That's going to force in another run. And the Yankees now lead 4-1, and they hold their breath.
Yeah, you hope that got more meat of the arm than it did bone. It was hard to see where it hit him. Oh, bottom of the wrist on the inside almost.
Pitch clock violation for Perez.
Yeah, it's kind of unraveling here, Michael, for him.
Squibb, third base. They'll come home, and then they get the force on McMahon. Bellinger reaches on the fielder's choice. Bases remain loaded with 2 outs. Here's Ben Rice. One and 0.
Just seems to me he's getting behind with a lot of early off speed, and I would think that you would chase more when you're sped up from his fastball.
Let's check out one of tonight's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Ben Rice to hit 1 or more home runs. It's plus 320. The Yankees would love to see one leave the yard here. That would be 4 with 1 swing. They lead 4-1.
pitch is called a strike. The batter's challenging.
So Ben Rice is going to challenge. Pitch was called the strike. Challenged by T-Mobile. And it is
confirmed. New York loses their challenge. They have one remaining.
Yeah, but she just didn't pick that one up because that's clearly a strike.
And it's that deception I talk about. Sometimes with I don't see it, but it's obviously there. And what you don't want to happen is I think Ben Rice has really good command of the strike zone. Don't not challenge a pitch for 10 days because you missed one, right? If you really believe that there's one you should challenge, you need to continue to do it.
23 pitches in the first, 34 here in the second. This is 35. I wonder if he challenged that one because he struck out on a pitch in the first inning that was clearly a ball and he didn't challenge. Probably looked at it when he got back to the game and said, I missed it.
Yeah, I think that probably had something to do with it, Michael. Yeah, it's a great point.
Bases loaded, 2-2 count. Yankees lead 4-1. Swing and a miss, got him. Well, the Yankees, they walked 4 times to get hit by a pitch. They scored 2 and leave the bases loaded. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Griffin Conine will lead off here in the third. Yankees lead 4-1. There's a strike. Conine's father, Jeff, referred to as Mr. Marlin. He played 8 seasons with the franchise across 2 different stints, an original Marlin in '93. And he actually played on both the '97 and the 2003 World Series champions, the only Marlin to play for both of those teams.
His son had a bad break last year, sliding head first, dislocated his shoulder, and ended up missing most of the season. He did it in the middle of April. Swinging the bat okay before he got hurt. So what happens on that changeup when it runs that much, Coney? Because that's too much.
Yeah, that means you're behind it. You kind of push it a little bit. You didn't. Your lower half's ahead of your upper half.
Warren. One away.
Great adjustment. Back-to-back changeup. The second one was much better than the first one. So that's what you love to see is a quick adjustment on the fly.
And you go back-to-back, you got to feel what you did. It's not like 7 pitches or 8 pitches later where, okay, I forgot what I did. Now I need to make the adjustment. Really good.
There's Graham Pauley. Third baseman. Last year, 6 outs above average. That tied Ryan McMahon for 5th best in the majors at third base.
If I'm not mistaken, Michael, he did that in like 48 games.
Yeah.
He didn't play every day.
They've got good defense at second, short, and third in their infield. High fly ball. Right field. Drifting over is Judge. 2 outs.
Something interesting to me about Jacob Marcy. When he came up last year, that first month, he hit .352 with over 1,000 OPS. Second month, he hit .231 and a .619. He's struggled so far this year. Is this just a slow start, or has the league made an adjustment and he needs to adjust back? Because he's got a very good eye, and I believe he's going to hit because he sees the ball really well.
Shallow center field. And Grisham is there. Yankees retire the Marlins in order. 8 in a row retired by Warren. Well, it's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Today's picture is a 4-month-old Benjamin who's enjoying his first Yankees home opener today. Many more to come, Ben. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Well, a rocky second inning for Perez. Now he faces Stanton leading off the bottom of the third. For 20 on the road trip for Stanton.
You know, as I look out at the scoreboard, it just seems so like shocking. You look at the Marlins have 1 run on 1 hit. The Yankees have 4 runs on 1 hit.
One and two. Day started off overcast, gray. Now there's some blue sky above. Light still on, but the sun is trying to fight its way through. In on the hands and popped them up. Nice play by the shortstop, Lopez.
It's got to be the toughest play. Usually you're a shortstop, you know you're going to hear footsteps. Does he see me?
And you've already seen him run into one person already.
You know who's the best at that? Derek Jeter was so good at that particular play. The pop-ups over the shoulder, running catches.
Yeah. He loved that play. It made it look so easy.
One of the best, I think, in doing that.
Line down the right field line. It's a fair ball and into the corner. Played out there by Casey. Sliding into second with a double is Chisholm.
Yeah, he gets this ball down and in where lefties love it. You can take a look at this. You know what that is? It looks like that little slider he's got going. Hits it down in the right field corner. He knows he has to run because he hits it so hard, and that's a short corner down in right field. Owen Casey's got a pretty good arm. He's pretty accurate, and he knows he has to hustle. Now he's probably going to try to look to steal third base so he can get there with less than 2 outs.
Lopez right behind him, checking him at second. Wells takes inside.
Do you remember Vince Coleman? Vince Coleman used to, Sean Dunston would get right behind him when he was on. Vince Coleman would tell him, I'm still going. You know, he would just tell him he was going on that turf. He couldn't throw him out.
Fly ball, right field, backing up Casey on the track. Now on the grass, he makes the play. Tagging is Jazz, and he'll make it to third. Yankees running wild. We take a look at the Optimum Fiber famously fast replay.
Yeah, Jazz with 2 stolen bases today already. He steals second, then he steals third. Gets in scoring position. Caballero, first pitch, he goes. He's not wasting any time. Steals third, and Yankees are running wild here today, Michael.
Here's Caballero, runner at third, 2 outs. Yankees lead 4-1. Caballero walked and stole the bag in the second, came around to score. That's a nice play by the catcher to get Caballero for the final out. No runs, a hit, no errors. One man left on base. 3 in the books. Yankees lead this one 4-1. First pitch today had an Olympian feel. Aaron Frankel on the right from the USA women's hockey team, and Jack Hughes, he of the Golden Goal, on the men's USA team. And they just lent the gold medals to the catchers. Lent them. They're going to keep them. But
that would have been high stepping back into the dugout.
Now, Meredith, you spoke with them, right?
Now, Michael, interestingly enough, both Jack and Aaron are both Yankees fans growing up. Aaron's family was here to watch her throw out the first pitch, and I asked if they gave her any advice, and she simply said, they said, make sure you throw a strike. Now, interestingly enough, she went to Northeastern at the same time as Cam Schlittler, so they were able to catch up prior to the game. I was going to ask her if she had any interesting stories about Cam, but she just went on to say that it's so cool seeing another person from her college succeed at a major level. So pretty cool watching those two catch up. And Jack Hughes did admit maybe a little bit of nerves when he was going out there to throw that first pitch here at Yankee Stadium. Not in the Olympics, but to throw out the first pitch here.
Now, Meredith, does Jack still have the cracked teeth, or did he get them fixed yet?
Totally fixed.
Really?
Well, it looked like, I mean, I didn't ask to examine his dental work, Michael. That would have been weird.
And did they let you try on the gold medals?
Unfortunately, I did not have the opportunity. I was rushing over to the set to do the pregame show. But, hey, maybe if I run into him again, I will ask.
Good stuff. You know, Michael, Aaron's 97-year-old grandma, Lydia, is in Calvary Hospital in the Bronx. And she calls the people that help her, the staff, family, because they described every moment of the Olympics to her because she doesn't see. And they did the same thing on the first pitch today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying the game.
Yeah, we're deep into Girardi's binder on that little nugget. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good right there.
Did you not read the note from Jared? How exciting were the Olympics, though, the hockey? And I'm not a huge hockey fan, but I was glued to the TV for those games. The women beat the Canadians twice.
Fantastic, really. I mean,
overtimes.
And dramatic, too, the finish. Always that drama at the end. Harking back to, you know, obviously the 1980 team.
Yeah.
Up the middle, almost got Warren. Right there is Caballero. And another 1-2-3 inning from Will Warren. He's retired 11 in a row since the home run in the first. All right, how about that in the words of Mel Allen? Learn about Ryan McMahon, starting quarterback from Matterdai. Cousin Sidney Dobner, first female assistant coach in Milwaukee Bucks history. And a Gold Glove finalist in each of the last 5 seasons. Now he's in the American League. He might grab one this time. Man, if you're a quarterback for that high school, you're a big-time quarterback. And he will lead off, takes a pitch outside, 1-0.
Do you know what ex-Yankee went to modern day?
No.
Bobby Meacham.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so, David, let me throw this at you. So. Talk about, you know, in basketball and football, more in football, time of possession. Warren has been on the mound for just over 16 minutes and 4 innings. Perez 32 minutes to pitch 3 innings. Does that take something out of you?
Yes. Big takes that emotionally, too.
Yeah, he's been in trouble because of his command all day, so he's had to make those stressful pitches that you're talking about.
Yes.
Three and one.
It's a guy that's throwing 100 miles an hour, and he's only throwing 35 four-seamers, 35 fastballs. Out of 75 pitches, Coney?
Yeah, no, it's well under 50% usage, more down closer to 30% usage. So, yeah, I mean, that's obviously the sequencing that they want from the bench. They're calling the pitches, and that's the mix they see gives him the best chance.
And he walks another. Second time he's walked McMahon.
One of the problems I have, Michael, with it is that there's a theory that if you don't use it, you lose it, and that's the key with a fastball. If you don't throw enough fastballs, you're going to lose some velocity, and then that feeds off of your other pitches too, because you need extension. You need to really extend to throw your best fastball, and that helps your other pitches as well. And if you don't throw enough of them, you know, it's hard to rely on it when you do go to it.
Grisham could not hold up, 0-1.
Interesting enough, his last start, he threw his four-seamer 46% of the time. He threw it 11% more than he has. And the other thing, is it hard as a pitcher when you're bouncing around so much between pitches to find a feel for certain pitches?
Absolutely it can. You know, Mel Stoudemire and I used to have this conversation a lot about starting games, about not trying to mix too many pitches in at once. And try to get through the lineup one time, see what's happening. See if you're allowing weak contact. Get it on the ground. Let your fielders help a little bit early in the game. Get quick outs when you can. Coming out of the bullpen, you try to mix in your whole arsenal right away. You can get caught in between in the beginning.
Up the middle. And that's a double play. Now it's time for Discipline That Delivers, brought to you by Vanguard, and Aaron Judge delivered in the first inning. Third home run of the year. And his 190th home run at Yankee Stadium.
Well, we were here for his first, Michael. I think Joe Torre was in the booth, and he hit one almost off the scoreboard. So we saw number one. We just saw number 190 here at Yankee Stadium.
Now, in his career, he's hit 388 home runs. And a lot of people say, well, you know, he's helped by Yankee Stadium, short porch and right. Only 10 of those home runs were Yankee Stadium home runs. That's it. That it only would have left the yard here. 170 of the 388 would have been home runs in any of the 30 ballparks.
Oh, I think that he's built for Yankee Stadium. I mean, he modeled his game around Yankee Stadium, and that's a smart hitter. I mean, I think you see a lot of left-handed hitters at Fenway model themselves to hit the ball the other way because of the wall. Because that's a big ballpark to right field, and it's hard to hit it out of.
I just have a hard time looking at 6'7", 280 and think cheap home runs. I mean, this guy could hit one out of Yellowstone.
And Judge down on strikes. No runs, no hits, and because of the double play, nobody left. We go to the fifth inning. Well, tomorrow night on Yes, the Yankees and Marlins play Game 2 here in the Bronx. Coverage begins with the FanDuel Yankees pregame at 6:30. Then first pitch will be shortly after 7 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Lopez leads off against Warren. Warren has retired 11 in a row after Edwards' first inning home run. And there's going to be a challenge on the strike call. T-Mobile challenge. And they win the challenge. It was barely a ball.
Challenge. They have one remaining.
Wow, less than 0.1 inches.
One thing this challenge system has shown me is that these umpires are good. I mean, you expect an umpire to get that that pitch right, but by that margin, no, these guys are better than they've been given credit for. And I believe at the end of the day, that will be shown, and there will be more sympathy for the umpires. Although that's not in their it's not in our nature to give sympathy to umpires.
No, because we're going to remember the one pitch.
Yes.
How do you think it affects a pitcher? Like, Will Warren thought it was 0-1, and all of a sudden it was 1-0, and then he threw 2 balls right after that.
It could be a letdown. You really have to prepare yourself for anything.
And there's nothing that's really prepared you for it because you've never been through it.
Strike 3. Lopez down looking.
Right on the black with a 2-seamer. Watch it right at the end. Little movement right to the corner.
And I believe him moving to the third base side of the rubber helps him with this. It gives him a better angle to make that pitch.
I agree. And he lands slightly across his body too. So that builds in some deception as long as it doesn't mess up his release point. But he seems to like it. Pitching coaches like it. The look under the hood and all the numbers and the metrics like it. And he seemed to have gained a little bit of velocity over there too. So something biomechanically works better for him over there. Frees up his hips or allows him to post up on his land leg and firm that up better to create more arm speed. So many layers to peel back when you're looking at biomechanics, but
I think the most important thing that you said there is he likes it. So he's going to be willing to do it. They got buy-in, and it's been successful.
The buy-in's the key.
Drilled to right field and deep. Judge back on the track, turning, looking, gone. A home run for Casey. Second home run allowed by Warren, and it's 4-2 Yanks.
Well, he was the #1 prospect for the Chicago Cubs, and they loved his raw power. And he's very young and has always played at higher levels at a young age. His second home run of the year, he had one earlier this year that was a walk-off out over the plate. And he knows he's got it. Good swing. Compact.
It's a strong swing right there.
Yeah.
You go out and yank that pitch up and away.
He's only 23 years old and all he had the bat.
Norby with a ground ball to Caballero.
You know, you see a lot of times the hitters kind of like move their head to one side or the other. Should I challenge? Should I not challenge? I don't know.
How do you think O'Neill would have done with this challenge system?
We would have been out of challenges in the first inning. He would have challenged everything. He would have liked it though. And I probably would have saved a few coolers.
One and two on Conine.
Comes back with. Remember the last time he threw one like that and he missed by a lot, and then he came back with it and threw a perfect pitch.
Strike three. Conine down looking. One run, one hit, nobody left on base. We're halfway through. Yankees 4, Marlins 2. Yankees baseball On Yes is brought to you in part by Sandals Resorts. Get closer to the Caribbean. By Vanguard. Opening week is brought to you by Vanguard. Discipline that delivers. And by your local Tri-State Genesis retailer. Learn more at genesis.com. Some of the players that model both uniforms. Cody Bellinger leads off against a new pitcher for the Marlins. It's Tyler Phillips.
Pitch is called a strike. Batter's challenging.
All right, so that's called a strike, and Cody Bellinger is going to challenge. T-Mobile challenge. And it is...
Call's confirmed. New York loses their challenge. They have no more challenges remaining.
The Yankees are out of challenges here in the 5th inning.
God, all these calls have been close. We've talked about how good the Yankee starters have been, and their bullpen's been really good too. The Marlins bullpen, 17 2/3 inning, .51 ERA, and they have not given up a run in the 7th, 8th, or 9th so far this year. And as young as their position players are, their bullpen is experienced. A bunch of 30-year-old guys that have done it. Fairbanks at the end. Good stuff, power arms.
Into left center field, long run from Marcy. He's not going to get there, and it bounces over the wall for double for Bellinger.
Looked like a decent pitch down in the zone. Marcy seemed to get a pretty good jump. This ball took off. I mean, that's a long ways.
About 397 feet.
Yeah. And you don't get a home run for it. That's the bad part. But it was a breaking ball out over the plate, and he just stayed with it, drove it the other way.
Here's Ben Rice. Struck out twice. Now, when Bellinger became a free agent at the end of last year, he had a 5.1 WAR with the Yankees, and it just seemed like this is a marriage that has to go on. He's built at this ballpark. And if you look at his numbers, at home last year, he had 302 with 18 home runs, an OPS of 909. And on the road, he dropped down to 241, 11 home runs, an OPS of 715. This was the place he really belonged.
Yeah, I agree completely. And not only that, he's a ball player. He can play anywhere. And that fits the roster as well as anybody. Center field, first base, play all 3 outfield positions, and play them well. That positional versatility, Joe, I mean, you as a manager, I mean, that is just gold.
Well, it allows you to rest people. It allows you to put people in the DH spot when you have so much versatility. And if you have one guy that covers 4 spots and plays at a really high level, that's invaluable. Coney, he's got that pretty good split like you have, this young fella. And he'll get it up to 97.
Three and two. And that is strike 3, and Rice did not like that call. He was headed to first. He thought it was ball 4.
Well, if you're looking for the next rule change, this is probably going to be it. And the system they're testing in AAA right here this year, that would have been overturned.
It would not have been a swing.
Would not. They're using the foul lines. So it'd be the third base line for a left-handed batter and the first base line for a right-handed batter. To cross the foul line with your bat would be the demarcation point for a check swing call. So, yes. Stan would have to, his bat would have to cross the first base foul line.
High fly ball right field. Casey makes the play. Heading back is Bellinger. Cooking up something special with Hexclad. Join the hybrid revolution at hexclad.com. Home run leaders, active home run leaders. Stanton leads with 454. Mike Trout off to a good start, 406. Then Goldschmidt, Judge, and Machado.
He's got a chance if he stays healthy to get to 500.
Now, according to our good friends at Stats, it's the first time since 1889 that a team has 3 of the top 5 active home run leaders. That's what the Yankees have. Goldschmidt, Judge, and Stanton.
I think you can make an argument, too. There's 5 Hall of Famers right there.
Now, David, I'm listening to you say about the check swing. The foul line, I mean, that's almost going around. I would say the beginning of the batter's box would be more realistic, don't you think?
This is the way they're testing it, and obviously in the way the game has gone towards pitching over the last several years. And trying to help the offense a little bit here. Right. The challenge system, I think, is pro offense, pro batter. I think the check swing rule would be pro batter as well. So I think that's a little bit of the thought process going in. Strikeouts are so high nowadays. Pitchers are so nasty.
You guys are going to get complexes. Everything is against you.
I think they're doing all right. What are the average hitters hitting about 240?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell all the pitchers that I pitch with over the years, Joe, that doesn't matter what the rules are, what the ballpark is. We get another look at that changeup or that splitter. Jazzes over the top. It's the same for the other guy. You know, if the run environment is a tough place to pitch, small ballpark, wind blowing out, whatever, umpire, everything's against you. Well, it's against the other guy too. So that's what you got to think about. Be better than the other guy. It's the same environment.
Strike 3. Chisholm down looking, so the leadoff double is wasted. We're going to the 6th inning at 4-2 Yankees. Here at tomorrow's Probables, brought to you by Audi. Max Meyer will go for the Marlins and Ryan Weathers for the Yankees. Now, mark this down, a rare Saturday night game at Yankee Stadium. Coverage begins at 6:30 on Yes First Pitch right around 7. And Meredith, you have some information about Ryan Weathers.
Beyond excited to pitch under the lights here in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. He told me how meaningful it is to him to be a part of this organization and to be putting the pinstripes on in a regular season game for the first time here at home. Now, his first start in Seattle, he told me after the game there was a lot of added adrenaline. He just wanted to get that first out of the way, and then we really saw it. After that, he settled in and went to work. He said he expects it'll be a lot of the same tomorrow, trying to figure out how to harness that energy early in the game. And to add to it all, Max Meyer was one of his best teammates, favorite teammates, when he was a member of that Marlins team. This is obviously going to be the first time they are facing off against each other. They spoke earlier today. I asked him, who do you think has the advantage when you look at some of those hitters in the batter's box, knowing them so well? And just looked at me and said, I think I have the advantage, obviously. So we shall see how it all plays out tomorrow night.
Good stuff. 6:30 is the pregame, as we mentioned. A 7 o'clock first pitch right here on Yes. So Paulie grounds out to second for the first out. And there's a strike to Jacob Marcy, 1-1. Yankee bullpen heating up. Fernando Cruz beginning to throw. 71 pitches for Warren. High fly ball, right field. Judge back, battling the sun. He's on the track. He makes the play. It's time to name that Yankee. Brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. 256 average, 393 hits, 24 home runs. So this is a 4. Not that difficult, I guess. Yankee in 2024, Cub last year. Marlin 2019 to 2023, and then started with the Blue Jays. Here's Edwards, a home run in the first inning against Warren. Warren's given up 2 hits. They both left the yard. Edwards a home run, Casey a home run. Yankees lead 4-2, top of the 6th. Warren threw 83 pitches on Saturday. He's at 73 right now. And a strike.
Warren's strike rate exceptionally good today, especially with his fastball. 23 for 35, 66% strike rate with that pitch, and that sets up everything for him. The sinker, the sweeper.
Yeah, I think his sinker has been excellent today. That just the late movement on it, it's got a lot of downward movement, and he's able to throw it to both sides of the plate.
Yeah, 14 for 19 strikes with that pitch as well. So his fastball leads the way again.
And that one's through for base hit between Rice and Jazz Chisholm. 2-out single for Edwards.
And this one gets a little bit too much to the middle of the plate, Coney, and it's up. It's kind of the ball he hit out, but the ball he hit out was a 4-seamer. That was a 2-seamer. I think he wanted to get it down more, and he left it up, and he is a threat to steal. 1 for 1 so far this last. He had 27 stolen bases last, and he has talked about wanting to run more.
Matt Blake with a trip to the mound. As Warren will face Ramirez. Runner on first with 2 outs. We're in the 6th inning. Yankees lead 4-2.
And I think this trip to the mound, it's getting back on track in a sense, but also trying to get Tim Hill ready for Liam Hicks. I mean, that's really important that Liam Hicks probably sees a left-hander the next time. Only hit 196 off him last year.
Going to be a really tough play. Fielded by Warren. Fires to first. Not in time. Just beat it out. Let's see if the Yankees challenge. No, they will not.
Well, heck of a play by Warren just to make it this close. And clearly the foot's on the bag before the ball's caught. But the fact that Warren had to go that far and make this play and make it that close, that was really good.
Well, that is going to do it for Warren. He leads 4-2. Tying runs are on base. Hicks coming up. Hill coming in. Warren gets a nice hand from the crowd. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees, and by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Well, Tim Hill got ready in a hurry as they wanted him to come in for Hicks, and that's exactly what they've done. It'll be Hill against Hicks. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. Top of the 6th. Yankees up by 2. Hicks so far this year is 7 for 17. He has 3 home runs and 12 runs batted in. Edwards at second. Ramirez is at first. And Hill, bare hands. And he does what Tim Hill does. As the Marlins lead 2, we go to the bottom of the 6th. Well, tomorrow night on Yes, the Yankees and the Marlins play Game 2 here in the Bronx. Coverage begins with the FanDuel Yankees pregame at 6:30. Then first pitch will be shortly after 7 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Well, Phillips pitched a scoreless 5th on relief of Perez. And now it'll be the bottom third of the Yankee order against Phillips. Wells, Caballero, and McMahon. Yankees lead 4-2. Yankees got 2 runs in the first on the Aaron Judge home run. And then they got 2 runs in the second. A bases loaded walk and a bases loaded hit by pitch on the arm, just below the wrist of Aaron Judge. So he has 2 ribbies on the day. Yankees lead by 2. Both Marlins runs coming via the home run. A home run by Edwards in the first, home run by Casey in the 5th. So Will Warren goes 5 2/3 in his second start of the year, and he leaves with a lead.
There must be something about the Yankee hitters that they feel that they have to throw a ton of breaking balls, because that was a 3-0 split. And we saw it from Perez. I mean, not a lot of fastballs.
That seems to be the thinking around baseball, because never before have pitchers universally thrown harder. I mean, the average velocity with a 4-seamer is higher than it's ever been, but there's more usage of breaking balls than ever before.
The highest slugging percentage is on fastballs. So if you look at the numbers behind the scenes, that's what they're looking at.
Well, they used to say the harder it comes in, the harder it goes out, right?
Now, how about the saying, though, you can't hang a 4-seamer, but you can hang a breaking ball?
I don't know. You can throw some right down the middle, go a long ways.
If you look at the data across the board for all starting pitchers, especially, the vast majority of slug of damage is done off of their fastballs as opposed to their best secondary pitches.
So we're chasing velocity as like a looky-loo to set up the breaking ball?
Well, no, I think the harder you throw, the sharper a breaking ball is too. The more spin rate you're able to put on it, the more movement you're able to. It helps your breaking ball.
Absolutely. It comes along for the ride. We've seen that with Will Warren. We talked about his velocities up a couple of ticks this year. So is his off-speed stuff. It comes along for the ride.
There's Caballero. And a strike. Yankees walked 7 times today.
I would say that's a big part of their DNA. The walk, the home run, you get the home run from it, and the stolen bases. I mean, that's the one thing you don't think about when you're playing the New York Yankees is the stolen bases. They were 8th in all of baseball last year in stolen bases.
Wells goes. That one's bobbled. And that'll allow Caballero to reach. Probably even scored an E5.
But the speed of Caballero is what makes Graham Pauley rush there. He knows that he has to hurry and get rid of this ball, and it looks like it hits off the top of his glove, not the heel, but the top of it, and he doesn't secure it, and now the Yankees got first and second. It'll be interesting how the Yankees play this. Would Ryan McMahon try to bunt for a base hit here? Yeah, he gets out of the box so well. He's always running hard. And speed rushes infielders or even outfielders on certain plays. It rushes them too, causes mistakes.
Ryan McMahon will take a strike. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Now, just to back up David's point and Joe as well, slugging against pitches last year. Hitters slugged 431 against fastballs, 377 against breaking balls, 356 off speed.
That's because they call the cutter a fastball. That pitch gets waffled.
Driven out to left field. On the run, Conine make the play. Tagging as well as he's going to third. And he's in there with a nice slide. He took Caballero by surprise because he's still at first.
Well, I think Caballero got way out, and it was a really good read by Austin Wells because he saw that Conine was sprinting hard towards the line. The sun was giving him some issues, so he said, you know what, I'm going to go back and tag because I think he's going to struggle. And you can see he's going away from third base when he catches it. Really good hustle. Now Caballero can see it.
It's the right time to take a chance. Now you're at third with one out.
And he slid away from the tag.
Who said catchers can't run?
Years ago, I saw a catcher run on a triple that, wow, looked like it was flying.
Maybe you were comparing that to your speed.
Caballero's going, then stop. That throw to third.
You don't see that very often.
That's like a lefty throw to first. Yankees looking for some insurance for their bullpen. And he is telling Phillips, you've got to look at the batter. You've got to address the batter.
It's a good time for the old Jeff Nelson move right here, right? Fake to third, throw to first.
Can't do that anymore, though.
You can't?
No.
You can step off, right? You can step off.
Yeah.
Fake it to third.
There goes Caballero. A strike, no throw, another stolen base. And that'll force the Marlins to bring the infield in. Trent's walked twice and wrapped into a double play. Picked up a ribby on one of the walks. Big cut, foul ball. Crowd of 48,788 here at Yankee Stadium. A sellout for the home opener. Turned into a really nice day. And the sun has actually won the battle with the clouds. Ripped down the right field line. It is a foul ball. And a hug for the catch.
Good catch.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bullet. Probably saved somebody. Behind them, for sure.
Never, ever forget that kid. Watch his play.
What a day.
You're right. He did save somebody right behind him, right there. That poor lady right there.
In the gray, I think she's in trouble.
Three and two.
Phillips has shown you a starter's repertoire. He's curveball, slider, a sweeper, a split, 97-mile-an-hour sinker.
Second and third. Infield in. 1 out. Yankees up by 2. And that's ball 4. Third.
Pitch called the ball. The catcher's challenging.
Now the catcher's going to challenge that ball call.
You think it's a strike?
I do.
I don't. You're right, Coney.
Wow, the T-Mobile challenge. So
Pitch is a strike. I'm able to retain the challenge. I have 1 remaining.
Strikeout, second and third. And Judge coming up.
This is perfect use of this challenge call by the catcher. Kind of a backdoor slider.
Yeah, and the way he caught it with his hand going away from the strike zone made me think that it was a ball.
So did the umpire.
Yep. So framing still is really important, because if they were out of challenges, they would have been in trouble.
Two 2-0 on Judge. First base is open, but there's a righty on the mound, and a lefty, Bellinger on deck.
A little surprised you're not putting him on here. 3-0.
He threw a splitter on 3-0.
Smart pitch. I mean, you can't get beat in this situation because you do have an open base. And I know Belly's a very accomplished hitter, but you're in a really tough count.
And a sweeper on 3-1.
And I would think it would be hard for Aaron Judge, because you're probably thinking, they're not going to throw me a strike here. You end up taking, then you take another one.
And he works a walk. So now the bases are loaded for Bellinger.
It's a very important spot in the lineup for the Yankees, is the guy who hits behind Aaron Judge, because this is going to happen a lot.
And I believe the guy that hits in front of him is just as important. Because if you have a runner on first, it's really hard for a manager to say, put somebody on.
0-1. Yankees lead 4-2. Bases loaded here in bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. One and one. See Michael Peterson warming. One and two.
Oh, the new scoreboard here in center field, just gorgeous. Clear as a bell.
As in Bellinger?
Yes.
And that one gets away. Scoring as well. Moving to third, Caballero. Judge goes to second. Yankees lead 5-2 on the wild pitch.
The one thing about being on one knee is you don't have a lot of range, and this ball's pretty far over. It takes a really high hop and comes back to him and hits off of his chest. I'm not sure there's much he could have done on that. It's a break for Yankees because it looked like that possibly they might not score a run. Being aggressive, but not too aggressive when there's a left-handed hitter up, because you cannot get picked off at third to end an inning.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Still 2-2. Fly ball. Drifting back Marcy and makes the play. Yankees get a run. No hits, 1 error, 2 men left. We go to the 7th. Well, celebrate the Yankees home opening weekend tomorrow, April 4th, when the Yankees take on the Marlins with Yankees Calendar Night. First 40,000 guests in attendance receive a Yankees calendar courtesy of MasterCard. Tickets are going fast, so please get yours today at Yankees.com. We move to the 7th inning. Yankees up by a score 5-2. The home opener. Yankees 5-1. So are the Marlins. Here is Otto Lopez to start it off. And Jake Bird has come on for the Yanks. 1-0. So Tim Hill came on to get the final out of the 6th. And now they turn to Bird. Fly ball. Grisham battles the sun, puts it away. Now, Meredith, I saw you talking to Jake Bird today.
Now, Michael, as we know, he was acquired at the deadline last year, but struggled when he came over to the Yankees. He actually never pitched here at Yankee Stadium last year. In fact, he has never been here to Yankee Stadium at all. Today was his first trip to the Bronx. He was excited about being here, but Michael, sometimes half the battle is just getting in the ballpark. He wanted to get here early. He wasn't sure about traffic, wanted to take a look around, get the lay of the land. He went to the door that they told him to go to, but he was so early that there was nobody there to open it, so he had to walk around the outside of the ballpark to gate 2 to eventually get in. Once he did, he said he did a couple laps, looked around, got comfortable, and now we see him on the mound in pinstripes for the first time here in the Bronx for the 2026 season.
I'll tell you what, if he was going in where the players going in, there was nobody there. He got his steps in if he had to go all the way to gate 2.
Oh, yes.
Well, I think he went maybe gate 4 to gate 2, so not too bad,
okay.
Michael, but he's here. That's the bottom line.
Excuse me, let me in. I play for the Yankees. Yeah, right. Get out of here, kid. No, I'm a player.
Hey, it could have been worse, David. We've had guys over the years, opposing players, that get in an Uber and say, take me to the baseball stadium, and they wind up in Queens. That would have been bad.
Well, when I was managing the Marlins, I had a couple players tell me they took the train and they ended up in Coney Island instead of Yankee Stadium. They said, we'll be a little late. I said, just get here.
Strike 3. Remember, Bird made his debut for the Yankees against the Marlins in a hard weekend for the Yanks where they got swept in really painful games. He's just been traded, didn't have much rest. They put him into a game that didn't go well. And he only pitched 3 games for the Yankees, and they sent him down the minors. He never made his way back up. But they still believed in his stuff, and they feel that he's going to be really a big-time contributor for them.
Well, he's that classic East-West. You know, we have a lot of North-South guys, up and down. He's that in and out with the sinker and the sweeper.
Yeah, he's got a really tight spinning sweeper, too. Yeah, curveball to go with it. That's a dandy right there.
Yeah.
The first batter he got on the back door and with the sweeper, he got him looking. Boy, that's high quality. The movement profile on that, the spin.
It has to be hard to get that really good downward break with his arm angle from the side, you know, because it's going to have more of the side sweep, but he's doing a pretty good job with his curveball. Oh, I don't miss those.
Was that more umpire than
more umpire? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Way a lot more umpire. I'm not even sure. I think it nipped Wells. No. Oh, little bicep, shoulder. Better than the head, though.
Swing and a miss. That's an impressive 1-2-3 inning for Jake Bird. He gets the Marlins in order. At the end of 6 1/2, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees lead this one by a score of 5-2 on the home opener, but we'll stay right here as they honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please... Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your caps? And please direct your attention to the area as we welcome an honored military guest. United States Air Force Senior Master Sergeant Myra Winnie from Albany, New York, who is still on active duty and has served in Operation Deep Freeze, Operation Inherent Resolve, and numerous other operations. The Yankees say, thank you, Myra, for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Please direct your attention to the microphone behind home plate and welcome from the United States Military Band at West Point, Sergeant Major Carla Loy Song. She will now sing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
Well, there's something about the home opener, the pageantry, the pomp and circumstance. It's an all-new beginning, and when there's a will, there's a way. Will Warren dealing, getting the opening day start here at Yankee Stadium. What better way to punctuate a big day than to have the reigning MVP go yard? He is the captain, the leader of the team, and he gave the Yankees the lead, and they have not looked back. The Ford summary, Yankees lead 5-2, 5-3-0, leading 2-4-1. Perez lasted 4. Marlins have 2 home runs. Will Warren lasted 2 outs into the 6th, and Aaron Judge, his 3rd home run, and he has 3 runs batted in. Ford scoreboard 5-2, Yankees lead as we start the bottom of the 7th inning. Cleanup hitter Ben Rice will face Michael Peterson, the new pitcher. And a strike.
So that pitch right there, it's called a changeup, right? That's his slider. It almost goes straight down. And that's why I always have a hard time figuring out why it's called a slider and not maybe a smaller curve or...
So 1-2 on Ben Rice. He struck out 3 times today. That one is drilled to right field. That ball is foul. Seemed like it was comfortably foul, but he was running down the first baseline. He thought it had a chance, but it hooked.
He's 110 miles an hour off his bat. Just a rocket.
That one is drilled to right field. That's staying fair. See ya. A bullet into the short porch. And the Yankees lead 6-2.
Coney, that's called not learning your lesson. Did he see what he did to the pitch before?
It's the exact same swing.
I mean, I got to change speeds or something, or I'm not trying to go in. I'm going way up or way away. And this is what he's done all year. I mean, when he makes contact, it's 95 plus. And there's another one. That's 11 out of 15 at bats, 95 plus.
Well, that was 111 miles an hour.
Well, it's still, that's over 95. But there's a lot that are over 100 too.
Yeah.
That changes his whole day because he had the 3 strikeouts earlier, and it just changes your whole day. And that's the first run the Marlins have given up in the 7th inning or later. And this, I mean, you can tell by the sound of the bat. The ball wasn't going to be in play anywhere. It was either foul or it was a home run.
Yeah, if you blinked, you missed it.
Here we go. Let's try to go back in there. No. Belt high, middle of the plate. Loud noises.
That man is a monster in the batter's box.
Popped up. Lopez makes the play.
Yeah, Paul loves this view. You can see how deep he hits this ball. I mean, it's off of his front knee. I mean, people talk about you got to get the head out. The head doesn't have to be out. You just have to be behind the baseball, and that's exactly what he did. And that's why he impacted it so hard. Loved it. He didn't know if it had enough height to get out.
That's a great point. He was so stacked over his body. No sway at all.
No.
Jazz Chisholm, fly ball. Marcy almost didn't have to move. Help America's Heroes. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to t2t.org.
I'd like to see him get his first home run right here.
He just missed one.
Yeah.
First time up, second time up.
1-0. Peterson represented Great Britain in the WBC. He's from San Jose, but he was born in England. 31 years old, 3rd big league season. Big guy, 6'7".
Yeah, they don't seem to like you here unless you're 6'5" and above. Started with 6'8" today. He's got like that old time stretch when he goes way up high. I mean, it's like something you see in a cartoon.
And there is ball 4. Wells walked for the second time. Now, this is a big day for everybody, but it's a huge day for Dan Fiorito. He's the Yankees' new first base coach. He's from Yonkers, went to Fordham Prep, Manhattanville College, undrafted, went into the Yankee system, made it as high as AAA, and then went into coaching. He's waited a long time. Yankees have loved him as a coach down in the minors, and he finally gets his big league turn. And what he must have felt coming out to the line, being introduced with the team, and I know meant a lot to him on the road being introduced with the team. And here he is, a Yankee, a long, long wait to put on those home white pinstripes.
Well, he definitely put it in his time, and whether he was a player, he was a coach. He managed in the minor leagues for the Yankees. He managed, I think, Volpe and Wells. He was the infield coordinator the last couple of years, so he's worked with a number of the players. Yeah, he's put his time in. It's great to see.
Another Fordham guy?
Fordham Prep.
Manhattanville College.
Yep. There's a strike to Caballero. Two and one. Caballero, a walk, reached on an E5, and he has 2 stolen bases on the day. Just clipped the outside corner. Remember, the Yankees are out of challenges. Yankees up by 4, 6-2. Runner was going on 2-2, fouled away. Walls is feeling frisky today, tagging up at second, going to third.
Day off yesterday, Michael.
You're right.
I mean, he went a long time before he was thrown out. He had a lot of pride in that.
Goes again. Swing and a miss. Caballero down on strikes. Usually when you miss a home run, like Rice did, you don't get another chance. Well, this time he kept it fair. A bullet into the short porch and right. A Yankee Stadium blast. They lead 6-2. Well, fans, Yankee games on Yes are streaming live on the Gotham Sports app, included for free with your eligible TV provider subscription. Download and sign into the Gotham Sports app now and get game highlights, post-game sound, and original content like Cam Slipper on the latest episode of The Grid. New pitcher for the Yankees, Brent Hedrick. And Austin Slater will pinch hit for Griffin Conine. And there's a strike. Eighth inning, Yankees up by 4, 6-2.
Slater was another one of those Yankees that was traded for last year who it did not start off well with. He pulled his hammy right away.
Yep.
Frustrating for him, frustrating for the Yankees. Acquired at the deadline.
Popped up. Jess Chisholm says, I want it, and he gets it. It's time to find out who that name that Yankee is. Brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. Those are the clues. Little birdie told me who this is. John Birdie. Knew how to play the game.
Led the league in stolen bases one year. Versatile player. He was a good little player.
Heriberto Hernandez pinch hitting for Graham Pauley. Clayton McCullough, second-year manager of the Marlins, has 4 righties on the bench, and the Yankees going to Hedrick. He's emptying out the bench now to get those righties in. One and two. Another right-hander up for them. And down goes the pinch hitter Hernandez. Well, Will Warren gave up 2 runs. So right now, 7 starts for the Yankees. Fried, Schlittler, Warren, Weathers. 2 runs or fewer in all 7 starts. It's the second time in Yankees franchise history that they allowed no more than 2 runs in each of the first 7 starts of the season. And the other time was in 1911. Jacob Marcy swings and misses.
That's when games were like 58 minutes.
Is that the Herb Pennock era? Who was leading that staff?
We have Hippo Vaughn.
Hippo.
Ray Fisher. Ray Caldwell. Harry Abels. Hippo again. And then Russ Ford. And Jack Quinn. The streak ended at 7. By the old 6-man rotation. That's an impressive inning for Hedrick. Yankee bullpen dealing again. They get the Marlins 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Celebrate every MLB ritual with the Corona Lime Drop. Corona will be rewarding fans all season long with a chance to win trips to MLB's biggest moments from the All-Star game to the postseason. When the lime drops in, it's time for the first pitch. Fresh air and sunshine. Corona, this is our playa. Hyundai scoreboard 6-2 Yankees lead bottom of the 8th inning. New pitcher for the Marlins is Lake Bacher. Rhymes with soccer. .30 years old, 3rd big league season. And the pitch is low to Ryan McMahon. I think you get along with Bacher, David, because he's into Ghost. He watches paranormal videos on YouTube, even brought ghost hunting equipment, an EMF meter to detect changes in electromagnetic fields. I think you could talk with him.
Wow. That's a different level.
And he was going to check it out at Milwaukee's famous Pfister Hotel, which is supposed to be haunted, but he went on paternity leave for that series.
So do you think he was upset he didn't get to go?
He probably was happy being a dad, but he wanted to see a ghost.
Yeah. Take it out to Monument Park.
Ghosts are out there. And down goes McMahon. And that'll bring up Trent Grisham, Car Shield Defensive Player Profile. From 19 through 2024, plus 29 defensive run saves. Drop last year, he was minus 11. And a lot of that, Yankees feel, was because of the hamstring issue that he had, that he played through all year. So far this year, he's had 0 defensive run saves, so he's not in the minus. And obviously, as the season moves along, he'd like to push it up to where he was for the previous years before last season.
When you have a hamstring issue like that, it's that first step that you don't have anymore. And there's some fear that it's going to pull on that first step. I always find it hard to believe that a person can fall off that much in 1 year. And you see it a lot of times in framing, where a guy will be like plus 10 1 year and then minus 4 the next. I'm like, how is that possible? Right? Sometimes some of the stats that are out there don't tell you the truth, because it, like for the framing, it could be the umpire you got that day that gave you a lot of pitches in a sense.
Yeah, that's why the larger sample sizes give you more clear reads, especially defensively. The metrics can be noisy with smaller sample sizes. Same thing with framing.
And also, I get the sense, I don't know if you guys agree, they're still a little off. They have not perfected defensive metrics. It's not black and white.
Getting better.
They are getting better.
Better than the days when Rafael Palmeiro won the Gold Glove, played 8 times at first base.
You mean he didn't play good defense DH?
The DH and got the Gold Glove playing first, so we're better than those days.
That should have been Tino's Gold Glove.
Exactly.
And Grisham works a walk, so he walks for the 3rd time today. And here's Aaron Judge, who was Captain Crunch in the 1st inning. A long home run, his 3rd home run of the year. Gave the Yankees a lead, and they have not looked back. He has 3 ribbies on the afternoon.
That is the 10th walk issued by Marlins pitchers today. 10. And they haven't given up many hits. Only 4.
Yeah, the hits are even at 4 apiece. Yankees lead 6-2, but 4 hits and then a hit by pitch and the 10 walks. So the Yankees been on base quite a bit.
You know, Aaron Judge set the tone early. You know, when you're on the mound or you're watching this and you see a home run in the 1st inning like that, it can scare you out of the strike zone a little bit. I know it did me when I was out there facing that stuff. Especially early, 1st inning, bang. It's like, oh, man, my stuff's not good today.
Well, you walk the first hitter.
Walk the first guy and give up a homer. You're like, uh-oh, here we go.
On a spinner.
Yeah.
Runner goes. Line drive, it's a base hit. Grisham round 2nd, he's going to 3rd. The throw from Conine. Not in time, though. They hadn't replaced Conine. I think they got pinch hit for. But the throw was late nonetheless, so 1st and 3rd, 1 man out.
I love this. First off, a rocket from Judge into left field. And then I love Grisham. Doesn't hesitate, but the slide feet first. Especially with 3rd baseman on the bag like that. You're going to win feet first more than you are head first.
That is Hernandez in left and Jimenez.
It looks like they're going to appeal this because I think Trent slid into his foot and he may have never got the bag. No, I think he's on the bag there.
Oh, and then came off.
He got pushed off. Is what he did.
Well, who pushed who, though?
Yes.
But I'm not sure that he tags him on the backside. See if he...
Yeah, the other foot. That'd be tough, though.
Yeah. I'm not sure how you... That's a complete judgment call.
I think he'll be called out.
After review, the runner lost contact with the base. He is out. It's overturned. Miami to change their challenge.
A lot of contact over there.
Yeah, and part of it is he slides so late into the bag, it's hard to stop because he knows that it's going to be a close play, and his momentum kind of takes him off the bag and the contact as well.
Tough call.
Yeah, that's a tough one to swallow.
Judge goes. Throw to 2nd. Not in time. Stolen base for Judge.
His 2nd of the season, or his 1st of the season. He was thrown out earlier this year. He gets a good jump. We talked about the Marlins' trouble throwing base runners out, 10.5% and 8.5% from their 2 catchers.
Checks a swing. Manny Gonzalez agrees. So 2-0 on Bellinger. Bellinger's 1 for 4. Bounced a double over the left center field wall. That was in the 5th inning.
And Coney, I think another thing is it kind of sets the tone. When you look at the Yankees, yes, they stole a lot of bases last year, but they were 30th in taking extra bases. They were 30th out of 30 teams, and that puts pressure on the defense. I mean, we saw what happened. Caballero got out of the box real well, put pressure on the third baseman. He makes an error.
Now, taking extra bases sort of, you know, is first to third, scoring from first on a double, extra bases taken. Really comes down to aggressive base running.
Yeah, and I love it because it makes it easier to score.
Let me throw this at you, Joe. So they were last in taking the extra base. They also, there's a lot of guys on this team that have an extremely high exit velocity. Maybe they hit the ball too hard to take the extra base.
Well, I think it's part of it. And I think they hit a lot of home runs too, and that's part of it. But it just takes the word to get around that, hey, these guys are going first to third. You got to charge hard when you're in left, center, right. Be ready to throw, and that's when they make a mistake because they're aggressive on the baseball, and maybe sometimes you don't have to be.
Well, fans, go to Yes Network on X and vote for the Monitor. Einstein Player of the Week is at number 1, Max Fried. Number 2, Cam Schlittler. And number 3, that guy, Giancarlo Stanton.
Because I can tell you the scouting reports that we would get is aggressive base runner. You know, you have to charge hard to get to the baseball, get it in the air so they don't take the extra base. And that creates errors.
0-1 on Rice. Rice had a bullet home run in the 7th into the short porch. That one is driven out to right field and deep. Going back, Casey, and he can't make the play. It's off the wall. Judge scores. Here comes Bellinger. They're waving him home. The throw is not in time. It's a 2-run double for Rice, and the Yankees lead 8-2.
It's amazing how your day could change. It starts off poor, but you always have opportunities. This is a hang and break the ball, and it goes down and gets it a little bit. Drives it off the top of the wall. Owen Casey almost gets it. I mean, he needed half a foot for another home run, a 3-run homer, but another ball that's just hit extremely hard from Ben Rice, and he's showing that he's going to be a force in the middle of this lineup.
And speaking of extra bases, Bellinger just went first to home. So
there's one. There's another one. Yep. Well, you got one. You didn't get one for the going first to third.
0-2 on Stanton. So Stanton, 5-game streak, each game with multiple hits. Today he is 0 for 4. Swing and a miss down on strikes. But the Yankees do pick up 2 insurance runs. This is how close Rice came to his 2nd home run. He'll take the double and the 2 more ribbies. The Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Nissan. Hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. By Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. And by the New York Lottery, this could be your lucky play. Ryan Yarbrough on to get the final 3 outs. And he deals up and away 1-0. Xavier Edwards, 2 for 3 today, will lead it off. This is Yarbrough's season debut. Popped up behind the plate, now to play. Edwards had that home run in the first. Take a look at the exit velocity presented by Spectrum, 103.9 to travel 377 feet. Edwards 11 for 25 to start the season. Allen is driven to left field and deep, going back Bellinger, and he makes the play. He didn't even know he had it. He had to look into the glove.
Wow, what a play, fighting the sun, knowing that the wall is coming up. He's going to watch it himself here to say, man, what a great play. This is what I do. I save runs wherever you put me. Look at this. In the glove. Oh, it hit off his wrist first.
Oh, wow. On the bounce. Off his glove. Amazing play. Crowd chanting belly.
It's like Savannah Banana style right there. It's a trick play.
Here's Ramirez.
Yeah, you remember you used to put the quarters on your elbows and swipe it and catch them? It's almost what he did.
That's amazing.
I could pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Well, he was hit by a pitch, so Ramirez takes first.
Yarbrough sure appreciated that. It's always important to get everyone in as soon as you can, and this is Ryan's first appearance, so I would imagine he's somewhat rusty. But I also like what Aaron's doing here. He's got a lefty on the mound. So they're going to stock their lineup with righties tomorrow. You know, if you get your 6 innings out of him, you got all your right-handers available for what their lineup was, and you force the other team to make changes. So use your lefties today.
Let's take a look at the Yankee bullpen. Bullpen budget brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. 22 1/3 innings for the pen. 16 hits, 4 runs, 6 walks, 24 strikeouts.
I tell you what, the Yankee staff has done a really good job so far this year is cutting way back on the walks. Last year they walked way too many people. They were like 12th in baseball, the most walks in them. This year they've been fantastic. No walks today. I don't want to jinx that. I'm knocking on the wood here.
Runner goes. We'll take second, ball 3. Now the 2-run double by Rice gives Boone a little breathing room where he doesn't have to get nervous and get somebody up right now. If the double doesn't happen, he might have somebody warming right now.
Correct, because there's the 3-hitter minimum, and you want to give the guy coming in a little bit of wiggle room. So it allows him to at least face a couple more hitters before he would even get somebody up.
So runner at second base, 1 out here in the 9th. Yankees lead 8-2. Pickoff is on. Oh, they got him. How did he get picked off down 6 in the 9th inning? Ramirez is saying check the replay.
Well, I think he got picked off, or almost picked off, because he was trying to give location to the hitter. You can see him waving at the hitter, and he's not paying attention to probably the third base coach. And you see the signal from the catcher, drop, and you're out. See how he's kind of looking for the sign there? Don't do that. Yeah, you're scolding yourself with your finger up because you're saying you're safe, but you're out because you're trying to peek for signs and location.
And the 3-2. Well, this should do it. Battling the sun, and Bellinger makes the play, and the Yankees win their home opener by an 8-2 score. Another good starting outing. Bullpen did the job. Power, speed, and the Yankees started the season 6-1.
Well, I think the patience of the hitters today, 11 walks, the stolen bases, putting pressure on the defense, and again, wonderful pitching.
Yeah, I mean, Will Warren did his job. Couple of solo home runs, just like Catfish Hunter used to do. Kept your team in it. Aaron Judge, a big swing early in this game, gave the Yankees a lot of confidence. An off day, too, for Bednar. They needed that. The bullpen had an easy day, so no stress.
Couple of home runs, Judge and Rice. Rice started off the day with 3 strikeouts, finished it strong with a home run and a double to pick up 2 ribbies. As Joe mentioned, all those walks, so the on-base percentage for the team goes sky high. And the Yankees win this one 8-2. Great start, 6-1. We'll be back in a moment with more right here on Yes. Yankees win 8-2. We take a look at the game-changing drive of the game brought to you by Audi and the all-new Audi Q3.
Well, in the first inning, Aaron Judge hits his 2-run homer on this hanging slider from Yuri Perez to put the Yankees up 2-1 and added an RBI later on in the game on a hit by pitch.
And the Chevy player of the game is who?
Well, and rightly so. I mean, that was the drag of the game, but the player of the game's got to be the starting pitcher. It's just the way the game's played. Will Warren did not walk a batter. He continues to improve. Fastball, combination, served him well.
8-6-0 for the Yankees, 2-4-1 Marlins, 2:42 time of the game. Warren picked up his first win. Perez his first loss. Marlins had a couple of home runs. Aaron Judge had a big day. You've got to listen to his interview with Meredith Marakovitz on the postgame. A rare side of Aaron Judge, I'll tell you that. Coming up on the Yes Network, stay tuned for the WB Mason postgame show with Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, Todd Frazier, and Adam Ottavino, the full house backfield. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, and our executive producer of the Yes Network is Mr. Jared Ames Boschnack. Join us again tomorrow for Game 2 against the Marlins right here in the Bronx. Special time. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. on Yes, with first pitch coming shortly after 7. Once again, the final score, it's the Yankees 8 and the Miami Marlins 2. For David Cohn, Joe Jordy, and Meredith Marakovitz, I'm Michael K. saying see ya from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Coming up after the break, it's Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, Todd Frazier, and Adam Ottavino standing by with the postgame show.
One of the many reasons that the Yankees wanted Cody Bellinger back on this team was he makes catches like this look so easy. It reminds me of Adam Ottavino back in the day, just shagging balls. Right?
No chance, no chance. That was never me at any point.
That was a huge play there in the 9th inning, leading things off to help the Yankees close out an 8-2 victory in the 2026 home opener here at Yankee Stadium. Hey everybody, it's great to have you with us on the WB Mason postgame. Bob Lorenz, Todd Frazier, Adam Ottavino, and Jack Curry as the Yankees win the opener 8-2. So many facets of the game going well for the Yankees today. Jack, let's get your Hyundai opening comment.
Bob, Yankee fans come to Yankee Stadium on a day like this and they say, we want to see the Yankees win. That's their first order of business. After that, they'd love to see Aaron Judge hit a home run. So check both of those boxes. And then they want to be entertained. And the Yankees were an entertaining team today. Ben Rice also hit a ball out of the ballpark. You just detailed that Bellinger catch right there. I think if you're a Yankee fan, you're walking out of the stadium with a smile on your face today. You got to see all of the reasons why this team is 6-1.
Yeah, for me, it's the free passes, the contrast between the two sides. Marlins couldn't throw anything over the plate early. They kind of nibbled. You know, a lot of those calls are coming from the team, from the dugout nowadays. The Yankees stayed disciplined, made them come over the plate. On the other side, Will Warren filled up the zone. All the relievers followed suit, and we see the difference there.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing for me was the pressure that the Yankees put on the Marlins. They had 5 stolen bases. Yep. This is a new Yankee team. We talked about it second half of last year. They started stealing more, and I think this is something that Aaron Boone and the staff have put together and said, let's do this and let's see what happens.
We've certainly got to get into more of the prediction market, guys, because we were 4 for 4 in calling Aaron Judge to hit a home run in this game, and he did that. It was a 1-0 Yankees game going into the bottom of the first, and then Judge stepped up and Adam just teed off.
Yeah, gets a hanging breaking ball in the zone. Doesn't even hit it perfect, you know, gets it off the end a little bit, but when you're that big, it doesn't really matter. And again, I just thought they did a great job of making Perez come to them. Grisham getting on with the leadoff walk, sets up Judge in an RBI spot, and of course he comes through.
And then you go to the second inning, and again, the game was getting away from Yuri Perez. He was walking batters, but Todd, to your point, they kept the pressure up on the base paths.
Yeah, they definitely did. I mean, not the best pitch there, but Jazz Chisholm, he had really good jumps today. Had 2 stolen bases, as we're seeing. There's the first one, and here he goes again. Look at the jump. Put that ball back in your pocket, young man. That's an easy stolen base for him.
Jack, he wants 50 stolen bases this season. He's clicking them off.
Yeah, he has talked about 50-50. We'll see how that progresses. But Caballero says anything you can do, I can try and do as well. And I think when you talk about this entire inning, and Adam talked about how he struggled to find the strike zone, there is definitely a direct correlation between the Yankees dancing around the bases and him losing the zone.
Yep, so they score a couple in that inning. They keep it going. Judge getting plunked right there, so he hit by pitch, Adam, another run in.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you never like to see the captain get nailed like that. I think there was some frustration on the Miami side. And, you know, one got away right there, but RBI anyway, we'll take it.
5-2 game later, Ben Rice, this is what we're talking about, Tom, the hard hit rate.
Yeah, and he just fouled one off that probably would have been a home run. Next pitch, you're going to throw a fastball to the heart of the plate. It's going to go, and there he goes again. Gets another bat in the 8th, just misses another home run This guy had 3 strikeouts before these last 2 at-bats. Kudos to him.
Yeah, Ben Rice, another big day. He came in 7 for 17. Couple big extra base hits for the Yanks as they win at 8-2. Your optimum players of the game, Ben Rice, 4 doubles so far, 2 homers and 8 runs batted in. And for Aaron Judge, another home run, his 3rd, and his 86 first-inning homers since 2017, most in the majors. Right after the game, Meredith Marakovits caught up with Judge on the field.
Hello, outfielder. What did you think of that grab that Cody Bellinger just made?
He should have caught it the first time. No, just an amazing play right there. That's why he's got a gold glove, man. He's one of the best outfielders in the game, and that was a good one.
Hey, how much do you love that sound right now? These fans love you.
I've been missing that. This is the best place to play. No better place in baseball, and we're going to be doing a lot of this year.
With that in mind, how important was it for you guys to really set the tone early, putting some runs on the board with your 2-run shot there in the first?
Well, you've seen our pitching staff, how they've been working, really just giving us a lot of zeros. You go out there, get some runs on the board, let them work.
Mentioned the pitching staff. What did you think of Will Warren today?
Incredible. Just working all those pitches. And like I said, giving the offense a chance to work. You hold on a team like Miami that's been hot coming in, so just fun to play defense behind them.
It seemed like you guys were incredibly aggressive on the base paths between stolen bases, taking bases on wild pitches. How much was that an emphasis coming in this afternoon?
That's our coaching staff, man. They're doing a lot of research, a lot of homework, and when they give us opportunity to get an extra base and get in scoring position, we're going to try to capitalize.
You weren't the only one driving in runs today. Ben Rice, 2 big at-bats towards the end. What have you thought of the way he has been impacting the baseball so far this season?
Oh, he's the greatest. He's fun to watch. He's going to be doing a lot of great things for us this year, especially hitting in the middle of the order. It doesn't matter if guys are on base, not on base. He's a force to reckon with.
Now 6-1 on the season. What can these fans expect from you guys the rest of the year?
A lot more of New York, New York.
I love that, Aaron. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Send it back to you.
Meredith, thank you. So we said this after 6 games, Jack. It's only 6 games, but, well, how about now? It's only 7 games, but this team is playing like it has a real clear intent to play clean, smart baseball.
I want to go back to what Aaron Boone said before the game about the clean baseball part of it, Bob, but about execution. And Adam already brought up the fact of the Yankees making the Marlins come into the zone. Marlins pitchers walked 11 Yankee batters. 5 of them came around to score. Do you know how many walks the Yankees issued? 0. So there's a big disparity right there. And I think that when you execute in the way that they are, pitching and defense, and the offense that they have, you're going to see results like this.
Yeah, talent plus fundamentals win. I mean, we all know the Yankees have a lot of superstar players, ton of talent on this roster, but they play with good fundamentals. They throw strike one on the mound. They don't swing at balls in the batter's box. They're really hard to beat, I mean, they're going to roll out great at-bat after great at-bat on you. And that's what we saw today.
2 errors in 7 games. That's really good. And if I'm a Yankee defense, I'm Aaron Boone. I'm sitting there saying, you know what? No Volpe at shortstop, a couple injuries, other people. Couldn't be happier.
Well, guys, let's turn our attention to the bullpen. Will Warren goes 6, gives up just a couple runs on home runs. Then, Adam, it starts with Tim Hill. And on the pregame, you were talking about this, how things seem to be, because of what the starters are doing, setting up perfectly for the bullpen.
Yeah, everybody comes into this game well-rested. Tim Hill, one of their 2 firemen that they like to use. He's the lefty version. Cruz is the righty version. And he does this thing. 2 pitches, inning over, threat neutralized. Miami had been hanging around in this game. He puts that fire out, and then they're able to tack on and just cruise from there. Bird, Hedrick, and Yarbrough.
And Jack, they've been impressed with what they've seen from Bird so far.
They have been, and you look at his season last year when the Yankees got him, I'm sure he thought it was time to be rejuvenated. You go from the Colorado Rockies to being in a pennant race. He ended up spending a lot of time at AAA. He's resurrected himself, and this is the guy we talked about on the pregame, Hedrick. He throws that 4-seam fastball. He told me that he believes lefties have a really difficult time picking that up. And how about the entire run of the bullpen, guys? They retired 9 of 10. The only guy who got on base against Yarbrough picked him off.
Yeah, definitely. And they're efficient, and they work fast, too. I've talked to you guys about this. Give me the ball, put the sign down, as you see Bellinger make this unbelievable catch. But again, working fast and very efficient. 2 signs of success.
And when you do that, the opposing hitters must feel like they can hardly catch a breath, right?
Exactly. The timeout, stepping out, hopefully a ball comes. Fundamentally sound. I mean, What a start to the year for this Yankee ball club.
And for the Yankees, they just need to find ways to close it out, and they were able to do that with Yarborough today.
Yeah, it was great because they were able to extend that lead in the bottom of the 8th, kind of give a little more breathing room. You know, Doval had been warming up. He gets an extra day of rest today. Yarborough goes in, 10 pitches, nice and easy. Go shake hands.
And if you're being honest about the Yankees, even within their own organization, when the season began, if you were looking for areas of concern, the bullpen was one of them, because what are they going to get from Bird? What are they going to get from Hedrick? Who is Doval going to be? I know they had a lot of trust in Bednar, but look at what they've done through the first 7 games. I mean, this is a strength of the team. And I'm sure Boone and Matt Blake are saying, just keep it going. Just keep moving on this train.
They did that today. They improved to 6-1. We're going to take a break. We got a lot more coming up here on the WB Mason postgame. Stick around. We're going to hear from the manager, Aaron Boone, right after this. His guys are shaking hands after this one with an 8-2 win over the Marlins.
The Yankees post-game show on Yes is presented by WB Mason. Count on who but WB Mason for next day free business delivery of Blizzard Spring Water. The Yankees post-game show on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires.
Tonight on Yes, the Brooklyn Nets play an Eastern Conference matchup against Jalen Johnson and the Atlanta Hawks at Barclays Center. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock with the FanDuel Nets pregame. Then tip-off set for 7:30 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. And stick around on that one. Third quarter, Yegor Dioman will be joining the broadcast. So third quarter, you'll see Dioman. As for what you saw on Yes and the Gotham Sports app today, was a Yankees win 8-2 over the Miami Marlins. 6 hits for the Yanks, including homers from Aaron Judge and Ben Rice, who also had a double in this one. And Will Warren picks up the win. 6 innings of 4-hit, 2-run baseball, no walks, and he struck out 6. Let's hear about the win from the manager, Aaron Boone, and the manager's report brought to you by Toyota.
Aaron, any surprise that Aaron Judge was the guy to set the tone early in this one?
No, never a surprise. Good piece on the breaking ball after, a really good first AB by Grish to set it up, and really good answer to them putting a run up on the board there in the first. So to grab the lead right back, and I think it allowed Will to get in a good rhythm too.
Speaking of Will, what did you think of his stuff this afternoon?
Yeah, I thought really good. Swing and miss again with the heater. I mean, that thing's playing. I thought he did a good job with his four seam and his sinker. They got a couple good ones, obviously, with the 2 solo shots, but for the most part, I thought he was in command. I thought settled into a really nice rhythm there in the kind of that 2, 3, 4, 5, and even the 6. A couple seeing eyes there that chase him in the game with Timmy there for Hicks. So overall, I thought he threw the ball really well.
We saw the way he bounced back at times last year, but you mentioned the solo shots. He gives up 2 and then seems like he goes right back to work. Do you even learn more about him, the way he responds to a little bit of everything? Yeah,
I thought he handled all that comes with this day very well. He was, I think, having fun, very much in the moment and calm and under control, and I think the experience he's gained over the last couple of years have served him well to know how to navigate these spots where you have a tendency to be a little charged up.
Justin.
Aaron, what did you think of how Rice came back with those 2 swings after the free strikeouts to start?
Yeah, I mean, really good. Obviously he's been swinging the bat great, and the first 3 kind of, a little atypical for him, but 2 really good swings. I thought the last at bat put together a really good bat after processing a couple pitches within that at bat, able to kind of put a dagger there with the ball off the wall. But that's what he's capable of. So no matter what's gone on, it's just if he gets a good pitch to hit, chances are he's gonna sting it.
Gary to the left.
Just to follow up on that, did you see any kind of adjustment from him in this later at bats?
No. I mean, that guy out there is pretty good too. Sometimes they execute. They're going to get you out. I mean, that's part of it. So, not much, but I thought he did a good job in those last 2 at bats of just processing what he had seen within that at bat, and eventually getting a pitch that, obviously 2 balls he smoked.
Bob standing up on the right.
Aaron, you're just talking about Warren a moment ago. Do you still see him as a work in progress, or
what you're seeing now, he's pretty close to being an established, finished product.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we're all a work in progress, you know. I mean, there's, you know, you never stop that. The reality is he's still a young man in this game, and you know, but he has gained now a lot of experience and been through a lot at this level, and I think he's continued to grow from that. I think he's had a great winter and all spring long, and now into 2 starts in the season, he's throwing the ball really well and knows that he has what it takes to get good hitters out.
Peter to the left.
Aaron, what did you make and what did you see in that second inning where you guys manufactured a couple runs without even getting hit?
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously we end up putting 8 on the board late, but I loved our at-bats all day. We couldn't break it open for a while, but I thought everyone up and down, I thought the bottom of the order did a really good job of controlling the zone. Perez is really good, you know, and we made him work. You know, we're able to kind of manufacture a couple runs. We got the running game going a little bit, but it was our patience today that, you know, really served us well, and I think did allow us to kind of really ultimately break through there in the end.
Ron and Chelsea.
Did you sense any excitement with Jake Bird finally getting the pitch at home that's been started?
You know, he had a little emotional release after getting that 3rd out, and he was, again, really sharp. Man, it went right through the middle of their order, right, left, was efficient, used his sinker, used his 4-seamer even to get one of the strikeouts there, and then the really good sweeper. So he was, again, very sharp and put us in a good position there in the 7th.
And you mentioned the running game. Do you go in reminding them to be aggressive, giving Hicks' struggles behind the plate and holding runners?
I mean, it's just more day in and day out, like, you know, what's the matchup? Sometimes you're going to have good opportunities to run. Other days, other series, you're not necessarily. So, you know, we got some of the right guys on, and we're able to get it going today.
Right behind you, Ron.
Even beyond kind of stealing bases and stuff, you had a lot of guys trying to take extra bases on plays in front of them and things like that. How much of that is the team you were playing, and how much of it is a roster that maybe can take advantage of more on the bases than groups you've had in years past? Yeah, I mean, I think we became that in the second half of last season, where, you know, night in and night out, we were rolling a good amount of some speed and some athletes out there, to where that, you know, slowly became a little more of our identity, and obviously having a lot of the same group now. We have a handful of guys that can really push it in the running game, but so far I think the guys are doing a good job of taking extra bases too. I thought Grish going there and you know, he beats the throw. He just came off, obviously, on the slide, but really good job by them today of being smartly aggressive.
Tom and John.
Aaron, what did you think of your leadoff batter challenging the ball call in the first inning, and then what was the impact on the game?
You mean them challenging us? Yeah. You know, they did a good job with it today. I mean, it I think really helped them. Obviously, they don't get the call there in the first, and, you know, you're down a challenge right away, and how's that going to play out? They had a couple of key challenges that put them in a position to potentially put an inning together when they were down a challenge. So I thought they did a good job with it today. We ran out of them fairly early. So there's going to be days like that.
Chris. Excuse me. Bless you. Chris and Randy.
I know you were very high on Rice coming into the year. Do you think he can end up being one of the best overall hitters in the sport by the end of the season? Do you think he's even there right now?
I mean, I think Benny can really hit. I think he's a middle of the order hitter and is going to be for a long time, and hopefully that means he's in those conversations, because he keeps getting better too, and he's fun to watch, and he's got a lot of confidence, rightly so.
John.
How about your overall start? 6-1 with an ERA just over 1. Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's early, but you love the fact that you get off to this kind of start, because wins are precious, and to see the guys obviously pitching as well as they are, but I also think playing as well as they are. They're the all-around game, I feel like even though we haven't scored a ton of runs necessarily yet, although 8 today, that's a pretty big number, I feel like we're taking tough at-bats. We faced some good pitching. We're playing smart on the bases and aggressive when we need to be, and I feel like done a really good job defensively. So you like all the things through the first week, and we got to keep that going.
2 more, Randy.
I'm sure the Marlins were trying to hit Chet there when it comes in 98 and catch them on the arm or near the wrist. Is that kind of scary? And did you know he was okay right away?
Felt like he was probably okay, but I tend to jump up a little quicker when it's to him. So felt like he was fine, but yeah, you always hold your breath there a little bit anytime it's kind of running up and in like that. So, fortunately, I think it got him off the forearm, so kind of the meaty part of things. So, new and short order, we were all right.
Last one, Brendan.
Was today kind of what you were envisioning from Hedrick when you guys thought he could move to the bullpen?
I think
you saw some of it last year.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, I thought I was really excited of getting to see what I saw last year and really felt like he could be a big part of this year. And so far, he's off to a really good start. Today, they're going to hit the righties. You feel good about him going through those left, right, kind of neutral, whatever it is, lanes. And today was, as good as he's been already in the early season, today might have been his best at just how efficient he was.
Okay, thank you, Aaron.
One of the things Aaron Boone asked about his vision on Ben Rice, and can he be a top 10, top 5 hitter? It seems away last year and this year, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the answer to that is an emphatic yes. He was top 10 in the American League in slugging percentage last year. You look at some of the under-the-hood numbers this year. He's put 16 baseballs in play, 13 of them in hit at 95 miles per hour or more. So he's barreling up the ball. And I'm standing next to, Bob, 2 guys who were drafted in the first round. He was drafted in the 12th round. So the Yankees should take a bow, the fact that they discovered this kid, and now they've developed him into somebody who's hitting cleanup for them. He's surrounded by Stanton and Judge and doing what he's doing.
I was impressed by his fortitude today. The 3 strikeouts, also the challenge where the ball was completely in the zone, so that probably blew his mind a little bit there. But he stayed with it, home run, double, blew the game open, and ends up being the player of the game. So it's never how you start, it's how you finish.
And when you have 3 strikeouts, known from a guy who's done the golden sombrero numerous times, you want to put the ball in play. And lucky for him, he put it in play, hit the home run, boom, then he hits a double. I mean, couldn't ask for a better outing from him, knowing what he started with and how he ended up.
I want to ask you one more question, Anna, because you brought it up, what happened in that second inning. And Boone was asked about this. If you're playing smart, aggressive baseball and you see a young pitcher struggling to find the plate and walking guys, how about adding that extra layer of stress by stealing bases on him?
Oh, my God. I mean, anybody who watched me pitch knows that added a lot of stress to me trying to hold runners over the years. And, Yuri clearly is trying to find the zone. The Marlins are sending in all sorts of different pitch types, so he's trying to manipulate 6-7 pitches, worrying about a guy stealing at the same time. It's just another thing in your mind. Your attention gets divided, and it leads to some bad outcomes when you're on the mound.
David Cohn has often said that when he used to face the St. Louis Cardinals and they had Vince Coleman and Ozzie Smith, he almost wanted to say to them, just take second. Just take second base because I want to focus on what's going on here. And I do think that Perez sputtered and sort of tripped and almost fell off a cliff because of what happened on the bases.
Yeah, and it puts the defense on tilt, too. Not being in the right position, focuses on other things instead of being where you're supposed to be. And you saw it was a field day, just like that. He wasn't there to cover second base. Probably would have been safe anyway. More pressure. Good things do happen.
We're going to take another break here on the WB Mason postgame. A lot more coming up from Yankee Stadium, recapping this 8-2 home opening win for the Yanks. Stick around.
The Yankees post-game show on Yes is brought to you in part by Audi. Experience the all-new Audi Q3 at your local Tri-State Audi dealer. The Yankees post-game show on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Hyundai dealers. There's never been a better time to test drive that Hyundai you've always wanted. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
A programming note starting this Tuesday. Yes, we'll have extended pregame coverage before select weeknight games. Tune in beginning at 5 o'clock for our new show, Yankees Rewind, and get a look back at the previous game highlights and hear Aaron Boone's full pregame press conference. Then at 5:30, catch Yankees lineup presented by CarShield for an in-depth breakdown of that night's lineup. And at 6 o'clock, it's Audi batting practice today, followed by the FanDuel Yankees pregame, all leading up to the game against the A's at 7 o'clock. Catch 2 full hours of pregame this Tuesday on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Well, this afternoon in the Bronx, Will Warren picked up the win. Did give it up a first-inning home run, but Adam then retired 12 straight.
Yeah, this guy's really coming into his own. He had a tremendous spring. He rolls it over into this second start of the year here. He does get clipped for the 2 home runs, but you know what? That's what good starting pitchers do. That's how they give up runs, is solo shots, and it doesn't bother them. They keep on rolling. He has outstanding command of both his four-seam and his sinker, which has kind of become who he is now. 3 out of every 4 pitches he's throwing are fastballs. He's forcing it. He's ramming it right down their throat, and you see the results.
And you see what he's throwing. We've said this before. Fastballs, outer half, come back in with the 2-seam. He's not afraid of it. His first 8 pitches, we talked, 4-seam fastballs. The one was a home run, but he said, you know what, I have to establish this first as a pitcher if I want to be staying up here for good, and he did that all today.
He got 1 out on a changeup, 1 out on a curveball. The rest of the outs came on the 4-seamers and the sinkers, as you guys talked about. And I also like the fact that he was efficient. He told Meredith leading into this start, I've got to avoid those long at-bats. He had some long ones. He had some 7-pitch at-bats, a couple actually in the second inning, but he figured out a way to mostly get by with his 2 fastballs.
Those are your pitching decisions presented by Sage. Now let's hear from Warren postgame in our Genesis Sounds of the Game.
Will, you told me the other day you wanted to be aggressive in the zone, trust your stuff in the zone. Did you feel like you did a better job of that this afternoon?
Yeah, absolutely. We were getting ahead early. Edwards had the first pitch homer there, but again, we're being aggressive over the zone. Trusting our stuff is better than them.
With that, how do you turn the page quickly and make sure you don't allow that to kind of get you to linger?
Yeah, solo homers aren't going to beat us. I think if we attack early, the odds are in our favor. We got, good defense behind us to make some plays, and so just getting back in there and attacking.
Does it help when the offense responds immediately in the bottom of the inning?
Yeah, absolutely. Our lineup's a beast. Judge with a 2-run shot there. I know we're going to put up runs, and I think as a staff, that's it keeps us confident throwing strikes.
What did it end up meaning to you to be the one to throw the first pitch in this building this year?
Yeah, really cool. I was feeding off the fans and the energy in the stadium. That's something for me that's really, really cool in my second year.
Between the weather, the crowd, and the scoreboard, could you have written a better script for the home opener?
No, I don't know if I could. Anytime we get a win is awesome, and to do in front of our fans here for the first game was really cool.
The way the staff is executing from start to start, how do you feed off of each other?
Yeah, I think it's friendly competition. We're all rooting on each other, and, every guy wants to keep it rolling, so I think that's a good thing.
As Ben Rice continues to come into his own, how would you describe the player that he's becoming and what he's bringing to the table here?
Benny Rice is he's a beast. Not many guys hit a foul homer and come right back to it with a real homer. But yeah, over at first base, he's made major strides over there. Being a everyday first baseman, and then at the plate, I don't want to pitch to him, so I'm sure the league doesn't want to pitch to him either.
You mentioned the foul homer. Are you surprised they attacked him with a fastball immediately thereafter?
I would have not thrown him a fastball, but hey, I'm glad they did. He parked it, so.
How would you describe what this pitching staff has been able to do here the first 7 games of the season?
Yeah, I think we're, I've mentioned it before, attacking early, throwing a lot of strikes, and having confidence in our stuff, and I think that puts you in a good position to be successful.
From what we've seen from this offense, from a pitcher's perspective, what would it be like facing them with the dimensions they're carrying right now?
Yeah, don't make any mistakes because you're going to pay for it. From top to bottom, we're applying pressure. You see stolen bases from Cabby and Jazz today. Wells is tagging up on a ball, hit the left at third base. We're just finding ways to win, and I think that's what's really special about our club.
So, guys, Warren gives up that first inning home run. But then, Jack, you got the sense that once Judge erased it with that 2-run home run, that Warren put his foot on the gas right there.
Yeah, you mentioned it. He gives up the 1 home run. He retired 12 in a row until he gave up the next home run. And I was very intrigued by that graphic that we put up. And, again, we add the caveat. It's only 7 games. But the second best earned run average by a pitching staff to start the season, only bested by the 2018 Red Sox, who, by the way, won 108 games and won the World Series that year. Yes, long way to go for the Red Sox, for the Yankees, but that rotation had Sale, it had Porcello, it had Eduardo Rodriguez. The Yankees just want to keep their pitchers doing exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, for Will, you know, experience has been the best teacher. He learned last year that his stuff does play. He talked a little bit in that soundbite about not having to be too perfect, just going out there, kind of imposing his will on the opposing team, just waiting for his offense to do what they know how to do, and that was on full display today.
And they talk about comfortability. That was a big word they used today, not only as the players, but as the coaching staff, too. They're comfortable right now, and they can throw anybody else out there they want to, but especially in that bullpen, how they've been doing.
You know what? There was a reminder, too, to Will Warren today, to Ryan Weathers tomorrow, to Luis Gil when he comes back. Carlos Rodon was in the clubhouse. At some point, Carlos Rodon is coming back into this rotation. Someone has to leave. Someone is going to lose a spot. Will Warren made 33 starts last year. He wants to remain a staple in this rotation.
Well, guys, we're going to take another break here on the WB Mason postgame. A lot more coming up as the Yankees win the home opener 8-2 over the Miami Marlins. Judge going deep. 3rd round tripper of the year, and then Ben Rice tees off as well. Stick around.
The Yankees post-game show on Yes is presented by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. The Yankees post-game show on Yes is brought to you in part by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on.
Your FanDuel thrills of the game come courtesy of the captain in the 2nd inning. And, Jack, we all predicted he'd hit a home run. What was your Nostradamus moment? Nostradamus, what is he?
We all said it. We all knew this moment was coming. Perez knows it's coming right about now when he hangs that slider. And Judge is able to send it 387 feet into the left field seats. One more look at it. Off the bat at 101 miles an hour. And Judge continues to pile up the home runs. That's number 1 this season. A lot more to come.
Yeah, you're not going to get away with that pitch middle of the plate. 1st inning homers for Judge. Now it's 86, the most in the majors since 2017, far and away more than Kyle Schwarber. Let's hear more from the captain in the clubhouse.
Aaron, a lot was made about this team wanting to play complete baseball this season through the first 7 games. What do you guys feel that looks like for you?
Yeah, definitely. We're finding different ways to score runs, especially when our pitching staff's doing what they've been doing the past couple games. It makes it easy on us as an offense just to get 1 run. But, yeah, guys laying down bunts, guys moving runners over, guys trying to take an extra base when they can. It's just little things like that if, we do that over 162 and into the postseason, good things are going to happen.
You've been involved in a lot of home openers. This day is always different from the others. What makes this day so special, and could you have written a better script between the weather, the crowd, and the scoreboard for how this went in today?
Wow, crowd was electric from intros. Like you said, the weather was great. We were kind of freezing our butts off in Seattle a little bit, but it was good to come home, and yeah, can't script it much better than that. It's the whole offense, everybody working, doing their job, and to kind of get out to an early lead there and let Will settle in, that was big time.
Aaron, how was that to give the crowd a jolt like that with your home run in the 1st inning?
The biggest thing was just answer back. They came out swinging, got a run on us. So, Grish had a great at bat in front of me, and I'm just trying to do my job, which is to try to get him over, or if you get a good pitch, try to drive it. So, just happy we could answer back, get a 2-1 lead, and let the pitching staff handle the rest.
Are you a little more pumped for your first at bat of the season here?
I'm pumped every at bat I get at Yankee Stadium. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like getting a chance to step in this box in front of these fans. It doesn't matter if it's a game in April or a game in October. There's no better spot. So you could ask me that same question every day. I'm always juiced.
The way you get hit like that, what's your initial concern when the fastball hits you?
Well, I've broken my wrist like that, so that's always your main concern. But once you feel like everything's intact, it's just, hey, get to first and let Bellinger do his job.
From your perspective, what has been so impressive about your starting pitchers?
They're just dictating the at bat. I feel like they're getting ahead. They're working all their pitches on the corners, and those guys, if you're getting good counts against hitters, man, it's a tough at bat. So them getting ahead 0-1, 0-2, just putting the pressure on guys. At bat after at bat. It's tough for an offense to kind of get rolling when that happens.
When you see them execute that way as hitters, do you feed off of that?
Yeah, definitely. We're feeding off them, all year long, as you guys have kind of been watching. So, they set the tone for us. Their ball's in their hand, especially at home here. Starting off, it's we're feeding off Will. I know they scored early, but he just still had a demeanor in him that, hey, that's one. That's all they're going to get.
How have you seen Ben Rice grow as a hitter? How have you seen Ben grow as a hitter already since he first got here?
He's been a great hitter. I think he kind of ran into some bad luck last year. He always hits the ball hard. He gets himself into good counts. He doesn't really swing at too many bad pitches. So I think he's got another 500 at-bats under his belt. So we're just seeing him really develop, and I think just have fun out there. It's been fun seeing him just, like even today. I think he struck out his first 3 at-bats, but it didn't faze him. He just went out there and hits a big homer and then has another one right off the wall. It just speaks volumes to the type of poise this guy has. It's just, he's never fazed by anything.
Aaron, what do you think has been the biggest key or keys to just the strong start overall for the team?
Clean baseball and great starting pitching. It's just a pretty easy recipe right there when you got those two things working for you.
Well, they've got everything working, and we are going to continue here our post-game coverage from Yankee Stadium. Yankees Extra Inning Live continues right after this. We continue our post-game coverage from Yankee Stadium, the home opener. It's Yankees Extra Innings Live, and there were some dramatic moments in today's ballgame. Second inning, Aaron Judge gives the lead for good with a 2-run home run, made it 2-1. They'd go on to win the game against the Marlins 8-2. And in the 9th inning, Cody Bellinger coming up with a key catch, flashing that great leather. Sometimes you get a little break there too, as the Yankees able to close out the win. Good to have you with us on Yankees Extra Innings Live. It's Bob, Todd, Adam, and Jack back with you. Let's dig into some of the key plays of today's game, guys. They're brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. And, Jack, let's start top of the first, where Will Warren did get nicked by a really good second baseman, Xavier Edwards.
Yeah, first pitch fastball. He talked about this, and Edwards jumps all over it, sends it over the fence in right center. Solo shot is his first of the season. Marlins strike first. They lead 1-0.
But at bottom of the first, Grisham works a walk, and up comes Aaron Judge.
Yeah, go ahead.
Judge with the big 2-run homer, gets the slider out over the plate. Yankee Stadium's been waiting for that ever since last year, for him to come back in here and do what he does best.
Gets a run knocked in, bottom of the second, Adam, in a little different way here.
Yeah, I mean, it's still an RBI. It's a little bit more painful, and you never want to see it with your captain or your best player, but he's fine. Little RBI, they keep the line moving.
Top of the 5th, Owen Casey comes up, takes Warren up and out, 2-1. That ended a streak of 12 batters retired. The Marlins inch closer. It's 4-2. Top of the 6th, Tim Hill comes in to replace Warren, and with 2 on and 2 outs, he's going to get Liam Hicks to ground right back to him. So a little 1-3, put it in the books, and Yankees still hanging on to that lead. Now, Todd, bottom of the 7th, up comes Ben Rice.
After 3 strikeouts, almost getting to that 4th one, guess what? Gets a fastball. Took the pitch out before that, but it was foul, and they threw one more right down the plate. Got him right back to where he needed to be. Very nice piece of hit.
And then Jack, bottom 8, tack on runs are always nice.
It's another serving of Rice. He rips this 2-run double off the wall, and right 8-2 Bombers. And as we said, when Ben Rice puts the ball in play, he squares it up. He hits it very hard.
He has been putting the ball in play a lot. Here is the 9th inning, and out of that great catch by Cody.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a look what I found, obviously, but man, that's athleticism I know nothing about. Very quick hands. What a reaction. I mean, like a backward scoop there. Yeah. Very rare.
So again, that helps close out the 8-2 victory. We mentioned Ben Rice, a little bit of a slow start in this game, but has the 2 big hits. And for the season in 6 games, batting .409 with 4 doubles, 2 homers, and 8 runs batted in. Let's hear from Ben Rice post-game.
And they threw you 3 straight fastballs trying to challenge you. Will said he wouldn't have thrown you the final one. Were you surprised they tried to attack you again with the fastball in that at-bat?
Maybe after the fact a little bit. Yeah, I mean, after the foul ball homer, another one looks pretty good.
Ben, how special was it to contribute to the home opener the way you did?
I felt good. Building off the momentum that we had in our first couple series on the road, to come back here and get another win, just keep, getting off on that right foot has felt good.
What were you thinking after you blasted one into the seats foul, and then you came right back and hit one fair?
I said that felt really good, and I was going to look for a similar pitch there.
Three at-bats today and in strikeouts. What do you tell yourself to not let the game get away, that you still have the 2 at-bats when you have?
Just turn the page. Find a way to turn the page, whatever it is. I can think of plenty of games in my career where it started off poorly and ended on a strong note. So just knowing that even when I'm 0-for-3 with 3 punch-outs, that there's always a chance for me to do something dangerous.
Are you actually telling yourself that this will come around to me again and I can still impact the game?
Yeah, I feel like something I always try to tell myself is I want that next AB. I want the 4th. I want the 5th. So even when things are going bad, like I said, can always be dangerous.
Have you always been like that, or did it take you a while to have that mindset?
I'll say I've always been pretty competitive in that sense, like kind of wanting to show that I can still do it even when it's not going as well. Yeah.
Ben, coming into the year, what did you feel like you needed to most improve on offensively?
I'd say, maybe just getting to some off-speed pitches in the air. Obviously, continue to get experience versus lefties. But mainly I just wanted to continue the momentum off of last year.
What is it like when your captain sets the tone with the 2-run homer early?
It's what he does best. He's so good at that. Just coming out swinging out the gate like that for us is huge, especially when it's him. It's so contagious and got everybody going.
From starting the day, coming to the ballpark, dressed in suits, to the way the team's performed, how much fun was a day like today?
It was great, and that's Cap again, setting the tone. Sent us a text late last night saying, "Hey, suits tomorrow." So everybody was fired up, and we were happy to continue that momentum onto the field.
Did you have a suit, Ben?
I did. I got a few options. I knew after my first year that I definitely couldn't be caught without one, because Cap likes to make sure we wear them every now and then.
Do you expect that text?
No, but he sent it with plenty of time for everybody to adequately prepare.
What's impressed you about the way Will Warren has improved over the years?
Oh, he's awesome. His stuff has always been so good. But you just see that competitor come out in him, especially in this type of environment, home opener. We saw it last year a lot, and I think it's going to continue this year.
I just have a feeling that if we told you to wear a suit pre-game, post-game, you'd be driving home no tie on. Is that fair to say?
100% unbuttoned tie.
Yeah.
Might even put a pair of sweatpants on. We're driving home.
Let's talk a little more about Ben Rice and Jack, just the strides that he has made in terms of being such a good hitter that Boone loves him in the middle of that lineup.
I always go back to the beginning of the journey for Ben Rice. Go back to 2024. He's got a 3-homer game for the Yankees in July. Everyone is singing his praises. This kid is ready to dominate. He ended the 24 season 2 for his last 40, hitting under 200. He had an OPS of around 600. He put in so much work in the offseason of 24 to come back into 25. And now you look at the mainstay that he has become for the Yankees. We talked about him opening up his stance a little bit. But, guys, I liked what he said there, too, about just pushing those first 3 at-bats aside. You know better than Bob and I, that's not always easy to do. Sometimes that stays with you. I'm impressed that he was able to do that.
Yeah, and I'm impressed with the fact it was all about Cody Bellinger, trying to get him back. He kind of got pushed to the back burner there a little bit. We understood who he was. Was he going to come out and have this start to the year? We didn't know, but understandably, this guy's here to stay. He's given pressure off of not only Judge, but Stanton, too. He can put him right after Judge, and he can put him anywhere, actually. The guy can hit the ball. So for him, I love every second of what he's doing and how he's talking. True Yankee.
I love the continued development at the big league level that the Yankee guys are going through. I mean, a lot of these younger guys, they come up, they have a couple red flags, a couple question marks, and they just continue to chip away at their weaknesses, build on their strengths. We saw it with Warren. We saw it with Rice today. And if they can do that, in addition to the free agents that they're always bringing in, watch out.
Yeah, nice complement of players on that roster. Want to remind you that tomorrow night The Yankees and Miami Marlins play Game 2 of this 3-game series. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30 with first pitch coming your way shortly after 7 o'clock. So watch all the action on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. We will take a break, but we have more coming up here from Yankee Stadium. Yankees win the home opener 8-2. All the pageantry of opening day coming up as well. Stick around.
Well, I definitely thought I had it from the jump. I should have caught it the first time. You know, I don't even know. I think I squeezed the glove too early, and I just kind of dropped in front of me, and I just got lucky. I definitely got lucky. Just threw my glove out there.
Judge said that on the field. You should have got it the first time. Jokingly, of course, but did he let you know that as well?
I genuinely should have caught it the first time. I felt like I had a good beat on it the whole way, and I don't know. I think I caught it off my my wrist. I don't really know exactly what happened there. So I'm just glad I came down with it at the end there.
That is probably, I think, Todd, the greatest non-catch catch you'll ever see, right? It did look like he had it on the first dab.
Yeah, he just overran it with his arm, hit the heel, came down. Naturally, your arm is what? It's going to go down. Might as well try and grab it at the same time. You saw him. His hands went up like, did I really just do that? Absolutely phenomenal catch. He's an athlete out there, and that's just it's a big play to end the game, pretty much.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Now the bullpen coming through again. We've talked about that today. Jake Bird has so far been a revelation. He's thrown 4 1/3 innings, allowed just a hit. He struck out 2 more batters today and helping the Yankees lock down the win. Let's hear from Bird.
Jake, nice to finally get your opportunity to pitch here at Yankee Stadium.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. This is my last ballpark in the major leagues to hit, and this is a special one.
How pleased have you been with your stuff to start the year?
It feels good, but I'm not looking at it in that lens just because I know how long the season is. I just want to take each day and try to keep improving every day.
You had talked earlier today to me about how you felt like last year your stuff was good for a short period of time. How different is your stuff this year in your mind?
It's definitely different. I think I figured out kind of what worked for me last year, especially earlier on, and trying to kind of build on that stuff, but also the fastballs are a little different this year, which is a nice change too.
I heard you took a lot of the stadium in today. What did the day as a whole mean to you?
It was just a cool day. Every day in the big leagues is an awesome day, and opening day is amazing, and experiencing it here for the first time was really cool. So just all around really cool.
What's working so well about the pitching staff as a whole right now?
Everybody's got really good stuff, and everybody's just pitching aggressively. It's a really cool group to be a part of, and I don't know. Everybody's just a really good pitcher, I think.
Specifically, where you worked last year, did you have that you got away with that you realized was working that you're using again?
Just trying to stay closed, not fly open. That was kind of one of the main things, but I know my slider and my breaking balls have been really good, and fastball is a weak point at times. So just trying to build on the breaking balls as a strength and try and improve the fastball as well.
Time for one more break here on Yankees Extra Innings Live. When we come back, we look ahead to Game 2. Lefty Ryan Weathers taking the mound, trying to build on his first outing. We'll talk about that coming up next. Back with our Yankees memorable moments provided by Prevagen, made for your brain. And opening day, the home opener, always means something so special here in the Bronx. Yankees hosting the Marlins for the opener of a 3-game series. They come back from a West Coast trip, 5-1, feeling good about themselves. And then before they put on the unis, the captain made them wear suits. So they were walking tall, feeling good when they got to the stadium.
Everything was good. They came out, the lights, the people, the anthem, everything about opening day you love and enjoy, and you respect every factor about it because you don't know when it's your last time getting opening day.
The fans get fired up to come and see the boys put on a show, and they delivered today. They stayed hot. They're rolling. They gave everybody what they wanted to see today, and that's all you can ask.
A couple Olympic gold medalists there for hockey. Aaron Frankel and Jack Hughes throwing out the first pitches. Again, a great day all around. The Caps with an 8-2 Yankees win. And want to remind you that following our live post-game coverage right now, stay tuned for the Season 9 premiere of Homegrown, The Path to Pinstripes, and catch an exclusive ride-along with last year's first-round draft pick Dax Kilby. Plus, our docu-crew details the Yankees Manager Olympics as the coaches compete in a series of events for the chance to manage the spring breakout game. Watch Homegrown coming up next on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. When we look ahead to Game 2 and our pitching probables courtesy of Nissan, these are the pitchers for the remainder of the series. Tomorrow night it'll be Max Meyer against Ryan Weathers on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. And then the series wraps up on Sunday with coverage starting at 1 o'clock. Chris Paddock against Max Fried. Jack, as for Ryan Weathers, another one of those guys they got him to be an impactful guy in that starting rotation. 7 strikeouts in his Yankees debut.
I think what we said about Will Warren in the pregame, we could echo that about Ryan Weathers in terms of just being more efficient. 77 pitches to go 4 1/3. You mentioned the 7 strikeouts, Bob. That will elevate your pitch count as well. But the thing I keep looking for with him is the implementation or the usage of the sinker. Matt Blake, the pitching coach, has said that is something that they think can help Weathers. It was a pitch he threw about 5% of the time last year with the Marlins, and he threw it about a quarter of the time. It's one start, but I think it's something that can help him a lot.
Yeah, he was my favorite move of this offseason. I think his ceiling is super, super high. The Marlins had him before, so they kind of dealt with him through some injuries. He put a lot of that behind him. He's looking to get some momentum going here and really show what he can do this season, and I think he can do a lot.
There's going to be a lot of right-handed hitters. So Weathers on the mound. They did a couple pinch hits today, too. So for this, the focus is on getting inside those right-handers and use everything else to manipulate them. We'll see what he does. It's Yankee Stadium now. Let's see. Pops was here for him. Now it's his turn to show Pops how to do it.
It's a good little part of the storyline, too, Adam, the fact that he's a former Marlins. We'll see how that plays into it when we get back together here on Yes and the Gotham Sports app on Saturday night. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30. First pitch a little after 7 o'clock. We thank you for joining us all day long here from Yankee Stadium, the home opener, and the Yankees started off with a bang, an 8-2 win over the Marlins. We will see you again Saturday night at 6:30. Until then, take care.